How do, everybody? How are we going? Saturday night.
Saturday night's all right.
It is 4 viewers already. Hello, viewers. Yes, Saturday night, UK. Night, just past 9 p.m. We do apologise. We're a little bit late, boys and girls. Still waiting for a couple of guests, but we thought we'd just go on anyway. So hope you are all okay today. A couple of the regulars on the panel. We've got Demon Saturday. What was it? Saturday Swap Shop. You all right, pal?
I'm all right. You all right? I'm all right.
I'm not bad, pal. I'm not bad. PD Rich. Hello, pal. Yes, it's a rock. We'll get onto that rock in a minute. Cockney, how are you, my friend?
All good, thank you. Operating within established parameters.
Did you get some sleep?
Oh, I did. I got half a night's sleep, so I am a bit groggy. But yeah, I did get some sleep, which is nice.
Yeah, you don't sound bad. So yeah, welcome. So you're all right? Yes, super duper.
Yes.
We was expecting the Mega Geek at some point. I know Lee. Problem being, is floating around. He's doing his Doctor Who watch party. Doesn't he get tired of doing watch parties? He is a proper fan, isn't he? He is a proper fan. So yeah, we're expecting him soon. We'll probably ask him about his Az video and the reception for all that. I liked it how Az was claiming it on one of his posts for his own. I thought nice. But yes, yeah. So we're all good. 2 viewers. Hopefully that'll. I know it's last minute, so hopefully that'll increase. So yes. So we'll get on to, as PD Rich says, it's a rock.
It's got to be a wind up.
Do you know what? I've seen Stranger Things. I don't know about you, Cockney. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
Yeah, season 1, fantastic.
You reckon? The Rock.
I guess we're at the point where we can't tell when they're taking the piss and when they're not taking the piss, and I guess that's where do you know what? I'm over it with Disney Star Wars and all this fuss about Kathleen Kennedy. I don't give 2 flying fucks if she leaves or stays. I don't give 2 fucks about anything they do, and I think we need to stop giving them our attention and our money. Bollocks to them.
I'll agree to be fair, mate. Yeah, they've fucked it up, haven't they? I think
they're only doing this. Yeah, Spockney's right. They're only doing this because they know they're going to get people's attention.
So ultimately, they are trolling.
They must be. If they're not, they should be.
Trolling for their own purposes.
Well, I mean, Ryan Johnson did it, so they're all now just jumping on board to see how many people they can aggravate and lead down the garden path before people realise that they've been had.
Yeah.
It was good seeing it on Midnight's Edge because they were just having such a laugh about it. They were just.
I love that.
I was laughing.
Yeah,
so that was.
I love that. It was just Robot Shlomo was just in hysterics, absolute hysterics. And I was just sitting there thinking, "All right, Rob, calm down." And I just ended up laughing with him in the end because it was so fun. It was contagious.
Exactly. So it was worth it because it basically, that's how good a character all troll it is. It's caused the fandom to laugh uncontrollably.
Matt, is it an actual character though?
Yeah, apparently it is. I don't know how it works.
I've heard that. Yeah,
I don't know how it moves. It's the spaceship navigator, right? And I don't know how it gets about. I don't know how it communicates. I don't know how it presses buttons in the ship to navigate. I mean, I don't want to know either. But at this point, they are just taking the piss because they've shoved something in there to see who will actually buy it and who will actually say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever! Oh my god, I love it! The High Republic's amazing." And then once those people do say that, they'll probably just end up ridiculing them, and these idiots will probably accept the ridicule and just go along with it, like they've got Stockholm syndrome, you know.
Hot Toys mock-up. I know this is not legit, but that's a pretty good mock-up, isn't it?
Yeah, I did that last night when I was watching Friday Night Tights. I sent it on to him, and Az stuck it on the screen.
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, mate.
Nice. So is it 1/6 scale?
I think it is 1.6. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't come with any accessories, but then what can you really accessorize with a piece of rock? Really,
Pebble,
bit of moss.
bit of moss, exactly.
Oh, fuck me. Jeez.
I mean, to credit Hot Toys, they could probably do a really good version of it.
I would imagine
interchangeable parts.
Yeah. I mean, all they have to do really is go out into the countryside, isn't it, and package up a piece of stone in a box and flog it off to people.
Yeah, Cruel Birab says this rock needs a trilogy. Someone get Ruin on here. I invited Ruin on tonight, but I think it was literally just too short notice for him to come on. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Ruin would have plenty to say about this.
I'm sure he's just jealous he didn't think of it. Stick it in The Last Jedi. After all, there were a lot. Actually, who's to say he didn't? Because that island was full of them.
It looks like the island, to be fair.
Yeah, it does.
Don't you think so?
Yeah. I mean, you look at the shots from the movie, like you'd ever go back to that film, but you look at the shots from the movie, and the whole landscape of that island is full of stuff like this. So who's to say that Ray ended up slicing one in half. So what does that say about it?
It could be a revenge thing.
Maybe it needs a little tiny Luke Skywalker sat on the top of it. then they could sell it as something else.
Yeah, I'm going to do another meme now with Ray slicing it in half with a lightsaber.
Just have Ray and Luke at the top with the the green titty milk monster.
Yeah,
you can get away with that.
Yeah, just have the titty milk monster on the side of it, lactating away, drooling green milk down the side of it. That'd be lovely.
You can get some porgs going up the cliff face.
Oh, dot porgs around it. Yeah, that's right. And a little hut on the top with Luke shouting, "Go away!" inside it.
Jabba?
Not today, thank you. Here we go. Jake. Hello, Wonder Chris. Jake Rockwalker.
See, we've had a Rocky character. Taika Waititi played one in Thor, the last Thor movie.
Yeah, forgot about that.
So we have gone as far as Rocky character, called Rocky Balboa, another famous rock character. But yeah, I think that's what pushes it into troll territory. It hasn't even got arms and legs. It's just it's a piece of rock. I mean, how stoned were they? You know what I mean?
Was that a joke? Stoned.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you. Yes, it's technically a pun. Correct. Because you see, they were under the affluence of Incahole or whatever it was, but or that marijuana. Why they call it being stoned? Is it like being clubbed over the head with a rock? Perhaps. Who knows? I guess I'd have to ask the Prime Minister. She'd know.
PD Rich, well, that subverted my expectations. It just seems to be the common thing with Star Wars, the new stuff, doesn't it?
I mean, it's almost, if you whittle it down a bit, it is almost dildo shaped inside. So maybe Star Wars sex toys.
I'm sure Kathy would look into that.
I'm sure they are already looking into that. Yeah, judging by women that are on the panel that are writing this trash, yeah, they've probably gone home and looked around the house for inanimate objects to see what characters they can turn them into, and it just so happens that they haven't come across what was lying in their bedside cabinet yet.
Exactly. Goodness knows they've been sticking it to the fans long enough.
Can I hear a helicopter in the background?
Yeah,
no, that's just applause.
It's the NSA doing a flyover. I don't care. Send your best troops.
Courtney, are you in lockdown?
No, lockdown's over today. No, it's lockdown's completely over apart from Auckland as of today. So back to normality.
Which island are you? North or south?
Oh, I can't say for security reasons. North.
Right. So you're not North. Does North have the capital? It doesn't, does it?
No. Well, Auckland's effectively the capital, but no, the South Island, was it Wellington, Gumboot, something like that? I don't know. Wherever those corrupt motherfuckers do their bullshit business. One rule for them, one for us.
So is the way, mate. PD
The
Rich.
capital, the new capital of New Zealand is where I am because I'm the new king of New Zealand. You all do as I say.
We've heard that rumor. PD Rich says, "I'm sure KK will be the first customer for the Pleasure Rock." Tell you what, I'm that desperate. I'd be second in line, mate.
Watch as she takes the pleasure from the rock that once provided a seat for man.
Wonder Chris, hello, Wonder Chris. Stop laughing about. Is it Geode? The
Geode.
rock.
Oh, Geode.
It's it's mineralophobia.
Oh, nice.
You heard it first.
Or
Fear of rocks.
mineralophilia, maybe.
Oh, worse.
Now we really are scraping the bottom of the stream.
I was chatting to someone on Twitter earlier on, right? I posted a meme and someone had a go at me saying, to actually be fair, in the EU, there was a tree that was a Jedi. I went, yeah, well, you do know that the tree, if you've read any of it, you know the tree was actually a person who rooted himself to the spot to protect something beneath him when there was a supernova happening. He was actually walking around sort of Jedi character that was just based on tree life, chlorophyll. And then if you're going to bring that argument up, then what about the Ents in Lord of the Rings?
Oh.
What about Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy? You know,
Groot.
At least they can actually write good characters based on.
You like that film, don't you, Courtney?
I do. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the only thing that's keeping James Gunn from prison at the moment. The promise of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If we're going to cancel anyone, cancel him and that fucking Mark Wahlberg. Don't get me started.
I don't get Mark Wahlberg.
I don't understand why he's walking free in this cancel culture when he goes around beating people up, and that's fine. Twitter, bad. Beating people up, good. Yeah, okay, good work, Mark.
I don't know if
I'll be expecting to hear from your lawyers.
Maybe he just put like a Nazi label on them and then makes it fine.
Yeah, if only Mark Wahlberg had done a dodgy tweet before his premeditated, racially motivated assault, then maybe he would have got into some real trouble. He should have tweeted about it. That would have got him cancelled, wouldn't it? But no, he's probably getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, isn't he? Big pat on the back from his cronies, and
I know.
Gateway into a greater world of crime in Hollywood. Come on in, Mark.
PD Rich, yeah, it's supposed to be pronounced like Geordie. Is that like, are they even ripping off Geordie LaForge? But it's clearly a Geodie.
Well, if he's blind, how can he pilot a ship? Apart from lacking limbs, being too heavy for the seat. I mean, having said that, they threw away. Well, you know, when did they throw away the textbook for believable physics? You could argue about the speed of light, but you can't give them a gimme for. But as Mr. Meyer Burnett says, you can't have capital ships floating in the atmosphere. Another reason why Rogue One is actually the worst of the new Star Wars films, because it would just plop fall to the ground. It's too fucking big and heavy, you muppets. They only work in space where there's not as much gravity. There's not gravity for those bombs, but not enough to pull down actual ships.
See, I used to think that. I used to think that about Star Wars ships at one time. Like TIE fighters can't fly in atmosphere because they're not built to be aerodynamic. And you can't do that with capital ships because they're just too heavy and vast and they can't fly in atmosphere. But I was thinking with our limited engineering and physics concepts that we have on Earth, whereas in a galaxy far, far away, kind of everything's off the table, really.
Was it a long time ago as well?
Was what a long time ago?
This galaxy thing.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it?
But, I mean, the time scale doesn't really matter. But it's it's in a different.
Yeah, why are you bringing up the time scale? That's not relevant.
Technology would have moved on as well, wouldn't it?
Well, no.
Well, probably since then, yeah. But
okay, sorry, I interrupted.
Do you know how to build a pyramid? We've been in a state of decline for 3,000 years. Who knows how to build a pyramid? No fucker.
Hey, you know,
nearly the technology we used to have.
Have you heard of the Baghdad factory?
Sit up, everyone. All right, Sklavko, you managed to get there then. Wherever still on the road. Are you driving, Sklavko? I hope you're in the passenger seat, mate. You were driving 12 hours ago. What the hell? Where are you going? Are you driving to New Zealand? What the fuck?
Is it going to the ends of the earth,
mate? Driving for 12 hours. You've been going in circles.
Guess who's here?
To France for a pack of cigarettes and back. Kathleen Kennedy, Father Christmas, Jesus Christ. I don't know. That wasn't a blasphemy.
Hey, he's here.
Hello, gentlemen.
Let's talk Doctor Who.
Hello, mate.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
It's all right. Are you all right? Yes.
Yeah. Fine. Just been working, that's all. But hey.
Look at you. How's
Right,
work going?
you
Okay.
two, right. Just to, listen, you two. Right.
Okay.
We'll have none of that Blade Runner, and we'll have none of that Doctor Who. You can get a flat wrist.
Now the thing is that Rock a replicant? Is he a replicant? That's what I want to know.
Are we talking about the rock that doesn't speak?
Indeed.
Well, rocks don't speak anyway.
Well, technically, it's a hot
There you
toy. It's a replicant of the real thing.
There you go. Ah, good point. Well, there's the original then, the actual Rock. Although this is apparently a mock-up, isn't it? This is an actual, genuine.
Yes, it's a fan mock-up. Yeah.
It's a fan mock-up. Okay, so
They're going crazy, aren't they? They're all mad down there.
Apparently, a real character, though. Apparently.
Yeah, it is a real character.
Stupid. What more can you say about this rubbish?
I think it's a big joke they're playing on the fans. I genuinely do think it.
It probably is, but who cares?
Well,
exactly,
yeah,
who cares?
Yeah. I think it's amusing. I'm sort of like sitting back and sort of watching from a distance and watching all these people running around with their hair on fire, going crazy over it all. It's highly amusing.
Indeed.
Hair on fire.
Yeah, you know, the fans, they get crazy about things, don't they? The obsessives, the hardcore.
They do indeed.
Hardcore.
Well, by the way, Ian, I saw something really good on YouTube this week that I thought I'd tell you about. Absolutely amazing. It was only half an hour, but I bloody loved it.
What's that?
And I had it recommended to me as well. And I just sat there and I thought, I'll give it 5 minutes because I've got to go and do stuff. Ended up watching the whole entire bloody thing. And then afterwards, put on a live stream afterwards of all the people that made it and sat there and watched that for 2 hours. It was that good.
What was that then?
Something called Rebecca Gold.
You watch Rebecca Gold?
Yeah, it was great.
What a load of shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it,
I really did. Yeah, I thought I was glued to it. It was really good.
You weren't glued because the girl was good looking, were you?
That's all part of it, isn't it?
That helps.
I liked the
Did you
blonde.
not
I
notice she's
thought
good
she was
looking?
lovely. Yeah, the blonde was very nice.
What is a blonde?
It must have been very distracting, Ian, on set.
No, because Alison, who plays Jackie, I've known her for years, and she's married with kids. And Katie, I've known her for over 10 years. So, and I wrote it for Katie, because Katie was moaning one day, so I just wrote it for myself and for her.
Oh God, shut up!
They all do, mate. They all do.
Look, give me 10 minutes, I'll be back. Right?
But you saw did you see the thing we did with Dan when we were doing the live stream and we were all talking about it, all the two girls and the rest of them? No, did you see that?
No.
Might have done. What were you referring to exactly?
So you saw the show, and then what else did you see?
It was on the Spacebook channel.
Yeah.
I can't remember the chap's name who was hosting it, but there was like 5 of you on there.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, I explained, because we went to dinner and she was moaning because she never got any jobs. She was like, I'm worth more than that. And I just said to that, I said, I'll write something for you. And so I wrote it, and 7 years later we made it. So
nicely done, mate. Nicely
there
done.
you go.
Well, she won an award for it. So
she did. She won. She won 6 awards, and the show got 11 awards for best web series. But and then it got nominated loads of times as well, and so it did really well in the circuit, the festival circuit. So, but it's a bittersweet victory, I guess, because something like this really should be on TV. But
yeah,
I don't know anyone on TV.
TV worthy, mate. It was TV worthy. Without a doubt, I'd happily watch that if it was on TV, and I wouldn't, be able to tell if it was, an amateur-made production or an actual full-on big budget, Disney, BBC production or whatever. I was sitting there watching it, and I was thinking, man,
Disney, Jesus.
The writing. I mean, yeah, I'm too in the habit of saying fucking Disney production.
Jesus, insult the bloke.
But it's as I said, it was written out of desperation, because I was desperately wanted to shoot something that I was happy to shoot, because all the stuff I shoot is corporate, and she was desperate to. Katie was desperate to be seen in a different light, because Katie's 5'0". She really is tiny. If you ever meet in real life, she really is very. She looks nothing like someone who could do that job, and that was the challenge, was to make someone of that small make her look like she knew what she was doing.
You did definitely, yeah.
So
I just loved the writing, man. I was just sitting there, the whole time. I was kind of like watching it in two ways. I was watching it and kind of enjoying it passively, like you do.
Yeah.
But I was also, my brain was like trying to pick apart everything you were doing on screen, like the directorial angles and the composition and the way you were writing sentences.
He's competent, yeah.
And the dialogue was just so well written. I really loved it. I was thinking, man, I need to get him on my book, because mine's shit compared to his.
Well, I mean, the dialogue was okay. I wouldn't, it was all right. It was just, I don't know. I was just channeling me, because I'm a mega geek and I love all that stuff. So I tried to make that character have my traits, but it was a mixture between my traits and Katie's traits, because you can't, I can't fit myself in her psyche, basically. So she had to say, well, you know what I mean, had to say it in such a way that it was believable to her, if you know what I mean. So but that's the thing, you see, when you write something, that's the first stage. When you've got, I guess, the fifth draft or the sixth draft and you're happy with it, then it takes another breath of life when you're actually on set. And then then you do rehearsals, and then when you're on set, they might change a few things. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of evolves from there. It never ever ends up with what exactly was in the script, if you know what I mean. So
sure.
But also I tried to be clever, because when you were watching the psychiatrist scenes, you were led to believe that was happening now. Yeah. But then as it goes on, you realize that was another flashback because of the file.
What?
So yes, I was trying to be clever. A lot of people don't get it though when they see it, but I'm assuming you did.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out, but I like the way that you kind of, there is that slight subversion there, and it does keep your attention, because you are trying to work things out and piece things together. And I thought it's always a great secret of maintaining the viewership is by kind of leading a path that goes around and twists around, and people don't quite know which way they're going to turn next, and then it comes sort of back around on itself and links up, and that's when you get right, and I always love stuff that does that, because it makes you feel smart when you figure it out yourself, but when you don't figure it out, it makes you go, wow, that's great, so either way you win.
Yeah, it's also written in such a way that there's loads of questions to be answered. So when we do the second season, some of the questions will be answered. I can't guarantee that all of them will be answered, but I mean, why does the bullet come out of her? That's one of the questions, isn't it? And there's loads of stuff that needs to be answered. So but that was the idea, is to give them loads of questions so they want to see a season 2.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I love the guy that came right in at the end, who was holding the gun out to her when she's protecting Jackie.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, oh, these guys are never going to stop now, are they? It's just going to be one guy after another, and he might be the big boss, and then there's going to be another guy. But when he sort of came in, they all look really menacing. It's really cool. Just stick him in a suit, get him to put on a grim expression, and they're just brilliant. And he just had the gun stretched out, and the little overlay that comes up on the screen and sort of goes through the names and everything, and the code level and whatever.
Yeah.
And his name, I was thinking, whose name? I was like, watching it ticking through, watching all the names that were coming up, going, which one's it going to settle on? It's like watching some game show or something when it's coming up, going, who's it going to be? Yeah. And the name it settled on at the end was ZAID, and I went, oh, I see what he did there.
Zaid, which is backwards.
It was a wicked name though. First of all, I thought, wow, what a great evil Sith Lord name that'd be. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Can I get that into my story somehow? No, I can't.
But listen, that was the where I got that idea from. Remember, I told you the story that when Empire Strikes Back came out, we were at school, and we decided to do our own version of the next installment, and we had a general in it, and his name was Commander Zaid. That's where I got the name from. So we said, "Oh, just put my name in there, DS, turn it backwards, and it's Zaid." And then since we didn't, that version didn't come out, I decided to use their name in this one. Do you know what I mean? But there's a good ring to it, Commander Zaid. I love that. Oh
man, I tell you, that is such a great name. Oh, it's so good. I was just sitting there for ages afterwards, just saying to myself, Zaid.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it anyway. So
I did, mate. I did.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. I
that's
won't keep Mr. Brown any further from doing what
Yeah,
he did. I just want to say
exactly.
I was big
Problem
thumbs up.
beans.
I can't wait to watch Bad Day now as well.
Go for it. Go for
Good
it. I
film,
hope you like
good
that
film.
too. Oh, One Division. Yay. Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello.
Problem.
Hey,
As.
Hit record, hit single.
I watched that
18,000
last night.
views.
I watched that last night. I was laughing all the way through that.
Yeah, it's the
Some of
video
those
that
images
gets
were
me.
freaky though.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, it was fun making.
I did wonder if you were doing the video as well. I thought, Jesus Christ, how much work's he put into this?
Oh,
Did it
2
premiere
days
on
and
your
2 nights.
channel, Lee?
Yeah, it did. And then 15 minutes later, it was on Az's channel. It's now got 18,000 views. So it's pretty damn
What, on
good.
your one?
No, on his.
Oh, how much did your one get?
12.
About 200 and something.
That's not good, is it?
Oh,
No,
Paul,
but hey.
Paulie.
I know. What can you do?
Baby
It's
steps.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very good, mate. Well done.
Well, he should give you. Did he give you a shout out on Twitter?
Yeah. I mean, and he donated something to me, which was nice. And yeah, we're gonna work out how to release it properly as a downloadable single. So we'll see.
Oh. Well, money's better than views, in my opinion.
Well, it certainly helps. That's for sure.
Yeah, it certainly helps. Yeah.
I treated myself to some fish and chips today.
Ooh.
Was that like £3 or something?
No, because I ordered it through Uber. So
Oh, posh.
Just
Uber
bulk
fish and chips.
delivered to your door.
How much is fish and chips these days, anyway?
About 6-7 quid now. It's crazy.
Is it?
About $15
Yeah,
over here.
£7 where I am.
Oh,
Wow.
God. And that's up north.
Yeah.
Can't say cheap as chips anymore, can you?
No,
Ah.
it's terrible, isn't it?
They, to be fair, for £7, they are not bad. But
Remember
for
when
seven,
you could get it in old newspapers.
You did, yeah, in the old days. Yeah.
The
That's
print would
crazy.
come off on the chips.
Don't know how we didn't die of ink poisoning.
yeah. Cockney, have you seen all of Rebecca Gold?
That's really
Cockney?
put me on the spot, isn't it?
That's a no.
Did I fucking say I would? No. I'll let you know when I've seen it. Don't ask me until I have.
That's all
All
right.
right, I thought you'd have seen it by now because it's been
Well, then, there's a
Right.
big gap between reality and your expectations, isn't there? I'll let you know when I've seen it. not
subverted,
before.
mate. Subverted.
Yep, there you go. Subvert your expectations. I do intend on.
I
seeing
was
it,
I was listening
road
to
to
your stream this morning.
That was good.
Cockney.
but- Oh, yeah,
and,
did you like that?
Yeah, it was. I was just confused because we went on about colours at one point. I was like,
Yes.
"What's he talking about?"
I love that. I
was
love
like,
that
"What's
about
he
Cockney's
talking
channel.
about?"
I love it where he can just
Pantones.
do this random diarrhea, and I'm still
Yeah.
I'm still invested. I love it.
Yeah, it was all technically correct. So that's the thing. It sounds like bollocks to the uninitiated, but it is all technically correct. Pantone colours for the reaches the spots that, no pun intended, that in that instance that CMYK cannot reach on their own.
It's like having a relative over to sit at the dining table while you're doing dinner and everything, and they just won't shut up in the corner about their.
That's what StreamYard said. StreamYard literally sent me an email saying you talk more than 95% of our and we've banned you. No more until you give us some money, you talking fucker. That's right, direct from StreamYard. So you're right there. Yeah, non-stop. Yeah, our Pantones, those were the days. Spot colour.
Thing is,
spot
I
varnish,
was in the chat
embossing.
with him.
You were.
Yeah.
You were bouncing off me. Good lad.
Yeah.
well, I did
I
it
couldn't.
off
I couldn't listen to all of it, but I did. I tuned in when you were talking about the colours and CCAM and was it CCAM? I can't remember you. No, not
CMYK.
CCAM. That's it. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
mixing it up with PAL and CCAM. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, you geek.
Yeah. So yeah, and I was like, what is he talking about? And then I had to
Yeah,
go
it's all
back to
the-
work. So
It's all the technical aspects of any filmmaking that you do, any print publishing you do. It's pretty much the boring technical end of that. But like even looking at the one division that we got on
It
screen,
was very
right there,
fast hour.
Yeah, if you don't, it went quickly, didn't it? Went
It did,
fast
it
like
flew.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grumpy
One
transmission.
Division.
on the hard.
Yeah, what
So yeah,
division?
30 minutes. Do you want to talk about? I assume
Wonder-
we've all dipped in. Should
Yeah,
we talk about it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Dipped in.
Lee, have you dipped in with this? I know you've been busy.
No, I dipped out of WandaVision at episode 3. I was really bored.
Look at
Popped
you.
in, dipped out.
I just-
Mega Geek. Do you want to go then?
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it, but my friend Finn, she did a review in it, and I agree with what she said. She said that there was characters in there that was no point of them being in there. Like, for instance, Monica Rambeau. Is it Monica Rambeau, the black girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did nothing for the last 2 episodes. She went in there, and then she did nothing basically, and then at the end, she's got superpowers, and it's like, how did that happen? It wasn't really explained. And then at the end, she meets a Skrull, and she says, you know, she needs to go and meet Nick Fury up in the spaceship, and that's kind of how it ends. And it just, you know, she didn't earn any of that. She didn't do any, because my friend was saying that she got the feeling that they were just inserting these characters because they had to introduce those characters. But if you took them away from the story, it wouldn't have made any difference to what happened. And it's true. If you took Rambeau out of the equation, the ending wouldn't have changed at all. There was no point for her being in it.
Supposed to be the new Captain Marvel.
But that's neither here or there. The whole point of having a character in a series is that they do something. They
Have agency.
connect with the story. Yeah, they connect with the story. But she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She just tried to warn her, and that was it. And for the last 2 episodes, she was just stuck in limbo, and that was that. You know, and so I agree with her. There was no point in her at all. In fact, when I think about it, if you took out all the sword stuff and just concentrated in Wanda's land, what she created, it probably would have been more interesting.
Westfield.
Yeah. But anyway, it was okay.
Wanda.
It was okay, and that's my thoughts on it. Really, it was just okay. You know, that's that really.
Yeah,
Matt?
it was all right.
Demon,
Matt.
do you want to go?
Yeah, I've been watching all the way through. After episode 4, I started. My woke alarm went off.
I thought I got out at the right time there.
Yeah, and I started to see the cracks in it. And then every time I saw Monica Rambeau on screen, the show was screaming at me, "White man bad," and "Wham and power."
Yeah.
I tried to turn a blind ear to it, but it was tough. But I struggled through to the end.
It's a blind ear. There's a t-shirt right there.
It is tough, to be fair. It is tough.
So tough. Whoa.
And it was, you know,
But you got to hold on to what you got.
To a superficial level, it was okay. But unfortunately, I'm a bit too. I've seen behind the curtain, you know, and I was just seeing
Beef curtains.
Well, there's a lot of women
Mr.
in it.
Brown.
Oh, sorry.
It was very female centric, so why not?
I'm toxic.
But I was, you know,
Sorry.
I was thinking that the normies are going to lap it up because they can't see all this stuff that we see.
Lapping it up like a beef curtain. Oh, see,
Yeah.
you got me doing it.
Basically, going downtown and uphill gardening, whatever you want to call it. And I just
something else, that mate. That's something else.
thought that,
Completely different.
on the face of it, it was all right. It looked nice and stuff. But ultimately, it was really disappointing, let down. There was no big reveal like they suggested there was going to be. Pietro or Peter, who played Quicksilver, was just a nobody.
Why?
Yeah, just a nobody, and he was just discarded at the end, and we don't know what happened to him. And also, there was no big reveal like Magneto or anything like that.
Yeah, because there was supposed to be a Luke Skywalker-esque reveal.
There was nothing at all.
Where was it?
Yeah, and White Vision, who was the duplicate or the rebuilt Vision, suddenly came to his senses and remembered everything, and then flew off. And that
flew off. Yeah,
and that was the end of it. I thought, well, bring him back for fuck's sake. He's like the most interesting thing in this entire show, and you've just written him out of it. But he never came back, not even right up to the final end credit sequence. He wasn't back.
Well, why didn't he help Wanda? Because know, because the other Vision let him have all the memories, so that means he would still be in love with Wanda. Yeah. So why didn't he come back to help her?
Why would he made a? Why did nobody make a double Vision joke? I mean, he made that,
Oh, well, if it was released last year, you could make the date into that joke, couldn't you? I suppose.
Oh,
No, I agree. I
oh,
totally agree with you.
2020. Yeah,
But I
2020 hindsight, double vision.
Very good.
honestly,
It's a trick.
honestly
On
thought the
35.
Vision was going to, because he can do that phasing trick where he can just go through
Good,
solid.
yeah.
I thought he was going to transfer himself inside White Vision, and then they'd sort of merge, so you get the hardware and software at the same time.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then
That
they could
would be
make
great.
a whole person, you know. And why the fuck didn't they? There's loads of stuff in it they could have done. I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll try this. And I was thinking, well, why? What are you doing exactly? And it was just became all about the female power aspect. And the FBI guy, I can't remember his name now, Jimmy something or other, suddenly got promoted because White Man Bad got arrested. And Monica Rambeau, being all the authority over everybody, comes up to him and says, "Oh, authority looks good on you. Oh yeah, I'll pat you on the head, and I say that you're a capable man. So now you are." And he's, "Oh, thank you so much for
her blessing."
Yeah, and
with
then
her blessing.
The I can't remember the guy's name, but the white guy, the only like Caucasian protagonist in it, apart from the two little kids.
Simmons, they're all called Simmons or something.
Yeah. Who basically he was just written as a villain. He was written as a horrible person, but he was just doing his job. It wasn't like villainous. He had no motivation to be a villain at all. He was just doing his job, but they just wrote him as a horrible person for no reason whatsoever.
He wanted to turn Vision into a weapon, didn't he? That was his.
Yeah, but he was just but the hardware that Vision was made of was originally intended, as some kind of weapon aspect. So originally, before he had the Friday intelligence put into him, so he's still just doing his job, and it wasn't necessarily a weapon to kill and destroy. It was a weapon to protect the planet. That's what Sword's created for. And this guy is just been written as just yet another White Man Bad. And I even read in a tweet that someone, an SJW wrote a couple of weeks ago, they were saying that, I can see all. Why is it that all white men in the Marvel universe are all evil villains? And they put like Jebediah Stane from Iron Man and all these others in there, and they were just like White Man Bad, White Man Bad. And I was like,
he was a good, he was
buying into the stereotype, to the trope.
That was pre kind of woke White Man Bad shit, though, wasn't it? Jebediah.
Back then, yeah. But it wasn't really. It didn't care who was the villain. It was just the fact that Jebediah Stane was a villain in the original comics. So
we got in, the difference was back then we got entertained.
Well, yeah.
But also, Matt, you got to ask yourself the question: why did White Man Bad get arrested? He didn't do anything wrong.
No, he didn't. He was literally just doing his job.
Yeah,
and he's the one that got arrested. No one else did.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
Yeah,
so, just because he was in charge. So why did he get arrested? Why did they take him away with the handcuffs?
Yeah, it's the basic metaphor, isn't it?
Kinky?
Down the ruling patriarchy.
Speaking of kinky, this one's for you, Mega Geek, from our friend Sklavko. I think
I have a soothing voice. You're joking,
nice.
aren't you?
Unintentional ASMR, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
Nod off sleep. Yeah, Sklavko. Sorry, mate. Sklavko's driving. Don't nod off Sklavko, please.
You don't want a soothing voice. You want a screechy voice. Kick you awake, Sklavko.
Also, when they were dying at the ending, when Vision was saying goodbye to Wanda and the two kids went to sleep, I didn't feel anything for them because they just got introduced in the last 3 episodes. So how could you how could you get used to them? I didn't even care about any of them apart from Vision, I guess. But the two kids, no, I didn't give a toss about the two kids at all. So
Red Man,
it was interesting. It was interesting, I found, but not enough to say it was good.
Cockney, thoughts?
I'm glad I didn't watch it. I half watched it and I thought, nice fight
Best
at the
way.
end. I like the witches, good costume. Yeah, clearly if I'd paid attention to the subtler plot points, I'd have been disappointed. And yeah, no big reveal, no return of Han Solo. Wanda didn't go topless. It was all
disappointing.
Yeah.
you wanted her to go topless.
Well, wouldn't you?
She's very young, so I wouldn't go near
a lacy bra or something. I don't know.
I thought it could have lost 4 episodes easily.
I agree.
I didn't know it could have lost 4 episodes until I saw the finale.
And what did the ending mean?
Is she a baddie now? Is that the idea?
Matt, what did the ending mean?
Stranger?
Well, she's got, but because she kind of had like an awakening, didn't she, for her powers? It was time of the month and all that business.
Ooh, on the block.
Scarlet, the
Well, with all
painters
the
are
red
in, yeah?
everywhere.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
why she's
decorators
the
are in.
Scarlet
Yes,
Witch?
stuff like
She gets her powers when she's on the blob. Amazing.
She was off in some like hut somewhere in the mountains, and
40
So it really is a period drama.
yeah, exactly.
on 40 minutes.
She'd split herself into two. So one, she could sort
Ooh.
of wander about and do human things, and her avatar or other version of herself was busy studying that book.
Oh, that's what it meant. Okay.
And I think there's also something in the comics where there's another version of her as well. It might be that as well. I'm not quite sure. And also some crazy fan. It was shown on Friday Night Tights last night. There was some crazy fan that's figured out some kind of algorithm or some kind of mathematical equation that's
Numerology.
alluding to some obscure character who this other version of her is supposed to be, somehow involved in the credits and all these other tiny little messages all the way through. Like God knows how anyone could pick that up, but someone did. So it might be that character as well. That's what it means. And it's going to lead into because she's a part player in the next Doctor Strange movie,
which is coming out in 10 years or something.
Yeah, it's alluding to that. And they also
made her more powerful than him.
Than Strange. Didn't
Yeah,
they film a
case,
cameo? Didn't they film a Strange cameo, but then they biffed it because they thought no one would want it or some bollocks? I don't know.
Yeah, Vision is supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme, but she's obviously going to take that title from him.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So Vision, he's a shiny red robot. He's not a Sorcerer Supreme. He's not even a Source Supreme.
But you remember Iron Man 3 when the main villain got killed by a woman? It wasn't Iron Man that dispatched him. It was Pepper Potts. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that's when it was creeping in.
I didn't see any of it back then at all. I was kind of blinkered to it.
Yeah.
I always remember that sequence because it was just so funny how all her clothes burnt off apart from her underwear.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. These things were creeping in. We didn't really know it, but when you get informed, you can't unsee it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's how they try and do it. I think they try and creep these things in, but then it becomes so overpowering that you can't really ignore it anymore. They've kind of shot their wad on this whole thing.
Easy.
They burned it.
Once you've seen behind the curtain, then that's it. You know how it all works.
Guys in the chat, I'm kind of assuming you've all watched WandaVision. Do you want to let us know what you thought about it? I think ultimately I was probably disappointed and 4 episodes too long, but that's just me. Yeah? Yes, no?
Are you uncertain where you're disappointed? You said you were probably.
Probably. Hang on, I've got the boy in the back. I'll ask him. Hey, boy, what do you think of WandaVision? It's all right. There you go. That's from the next generation. It's all right. All that effort, it's all right.
I liked those two. Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany. Fantastic. I just don't think I liked the subject matter. It all went spells and witchy and it reminded me of, was there a Doctor Who episode with Jodie where they were doing all this witchcraft shit? Where she got on the ducking stool. It reminded me of that, and I hated that as well. So
see,
I didn't watch it.
Hated it.
I even when I was growing up with comics, I never liked superheroes as a genre. So I preferred things like Thor, Doctor Strange, and to an extent the Scarlet Witch.
Well, why they're doing the magic now. It's because it's Disney. It's Disney. That's why they want to do magic. That's where they're most comfortable with.
Oh, Sorcerer's Apprentice. Maybe Mickey Mouse will show up and do a spell. Mickey Mouse plus the Scarlet Witch.
The thing about comics is it's not only the characters that you read them for, it's the artwork. Because I used to buy comics and it was the artwork that made me bought them. So when I open a comic and I go, this art is amazing, I would buy the comic for the art. So it's a comic. So it's very different to movies, because with movies you're getting, like a solid person within that entire costume. Yeah, more or less. So it's a different thing. But comics is more than just the characters and how beautiful they look. It's the artwork that makes them look beautiful. And that 9 times out of 10 I would buy a comic because the art is absolutely fantastic.
And now the art is dreadful, you know,
Of
because they're hiring these losers who just, you know,
Mm.
can't draw to save their lives. But, you know, the diverse so must be celebrated. Oh my God.
The only superhero I was connected with was Spider-Man. It's the only one I connect with mentally. But other comics that I brought was purely for the art. And then what's his name? Frank Miller appeared, and it was Story again. You know what I mean? Story. Frank Miller's some of Frank Miller's stuff was absolutely brilliant.
I got back into comics back in the 90s for a short while, after many years of not being into comics. But and that was because of the Sandman, and the artwork in that was great, and the story was really deep and interesting. You know?
Absolutely. And then it was Tank Girl, which I loved. Tank Girl.
Yeah,
There was a whole bunch of Vertigo comics that I really got into at the time. Like, was it We Three? That was a good one.
Hellblazer.
Yeah.
There's so many good comics that still need to be adapted. I mean, would someone please option American Flag?
Well, they're going to make Sandman woke for the Netflix series that they're doing, and I've been waiting for Sandman to be on the screen for decades, and now it's just like it's going to be ruined.
You can't wait for Sandman. He's all about sleep. That's his whole gig, isn't it? He's the set. You put sand in your eyes, makes you sleepy. You can't have him woke. Exactly.
I would love to make Marvels, the comic Marvels, which charts the history of the Marvel characters and put it in history and what happened and stuff. I would love to do it. It's all from the perspective of that journalist from World War II straight across to a modern day. I'd love to do that, especially right now. It'd be perfect for right now because now you've got all the actors cast as those characters within that comic. It'd be absolutely amazing if we could make a film of that.
What you speak to Kevin Feige?
Yeah, right. I'll just give him a call, shall I?
Well, they should do the Secret Wars. That would be.
That was good too. Yeah,
he might be watching now. He might be watching now.
Well, he's probably busy shouting at someone.
I'm free for casting.
Kevin Feige, whatever his name is, I think
Feige.
Yeah, I think he was a genius. He basically saw making TV shows as big cinematic movies is the way to go and connect them all together. But now that time is gone, and now what they want to do is they want to destroy it with this woke thing. And good luck to them.
He's like the modern day Harv Bennett.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. But now they want to rain upon it and just take the piss out of it, and
is anybody interested in the next phase?
No,
not really. They
mildly curious.
Start WandaVision, and now it's just no, don't care.
But the next Spider-Man is going to have all of them in it from different universes. It's been confirmed now. Tobey Maguire's in it, and Andrew Garfield's in it. Even Charlie Cox is playing Daredevil. He's in it.
I'll watch it for Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to definitely watch that, but nothing else though. Nothing else interests me. Not even the Winter Soldier.
Guardian of the Galaxy 3.
I don't even know what it's about. But the thing is, that's going woke fast, isn't it? That one.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to change Star-Lord's sexuality and all this, aren't they?
They only did that to get at
Gaylord.
daring to be a Christian,
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Star-Lord wasn't that weak in the first one. He was very much in charge. Then it comes to the second one. He was a bumbling idiot, and even in the Avengers films, he was even more of an idiot. So I just didn't understand what was going on there.
Yeah. He was doing Chris Pratt.
His character.
Yeah,
undermining.
Suddenly the green girl was like, "Oh yeah, you're idiots. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about." I'm like, "Well, you're gorgeous, love."
Zoe, what's her name? Zoe
Saldana.
Not Wanamaker, is it?
No.
That's a different.
That's a different cinematic universe.
BBC cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Even I was watching Coming to America too. They did the same thing to the Eddie Murphy character. They cut his balls off. So you know what I mean. And he has daughters in it, and you can guess what kind of storyline they were following in that one. So it just I don't know. I'm just getting no. I wish they were. But I'm tired of it, and Coming to America 2 wasn't funny at all. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't funny. You can see all the woke stuff happening in it. Even if you had a blindfold, you could still see it. But they just basically made him look like an idiot. And so anyway, you know, I don't care really.
PD Rich in the chat says Kevin Feige apparently got sent on a Disney equity and diversity course.
Fucked.
Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
Send Kathleen on one of those, and she'll stop firing her top stars, won't she?
Yeah, she hates strong, independent women. Seemingly.
Exactly. Here at Disney, we hate bitches that think for themselves, so we fire them
Disney
without
should
telling them.
probably take a bit of their own medicine there and stop
Yeah.
reducing people of minorities on their movie
Yeah.
posters.
Yeah.
Didn't Bob Paycheck? Didn't Bob Paycheck
Paycheck.
hail her?
That's brilliant.
Paycheck.
Paycheck.
didn't he hail her as a brilliant genius?
He did. He was lying again. Bob Paycheck, incapable of telling the truth. Even
Paycheck.
he's basically incapable of telling the truth. He can't tell the truth on his tax returns. He can't tell the truth about Kathleen Kennedy. He's a
Coincidentally,
compulsive
as
liar.
well. Yeah, coincidentally, you know, Kathleen Kennedy comes out and makes another. Well, she didn't do it directly, but you know, the High Republic
Fade
have
in.
just dropped this rock on their foot.
Faded.
That's hilarious.
And it's all her responsibility, you know, it all came from her. It's her side of Lucasfilm that's created this High Republic debacle. So, but Paycheck's there on the other end, you know, lauding the way she does everything. So, what does that say about her?
You can't even tell the difference between an entry ticket and a spoon. Hashtag IRS Internal Revenue Service.
Maybe she needs a struggle session, you know, with 40 people on a Zoom call.
Well,
to tell her what they think.
doesn't her contract run out end of this year?
No,
October
Oh yeah, it's
31st.
only 285 days.
She's got an
I
iron
don't-
bad contract.
she might be. Can we imagine if we did that with Hitler? Oh, leave him alone. It'll be out by the end of the year. It's
She's
all
married
right.
to Frank Marshall, isn't she?
I can
She
chill
is.
for
I like
54
Frank
days, my ass.
It's a
So does
shame he's
Kathleen,
married to
hopefully.
her.
Yeah, what in there?
You could have done so
Yeah.
much better.
No, it's true. Frank Marshall's
Yeah.
a brilliant producer, absolutely brilliant producer, and she just hung off his coattails. She hung off everybody's coattails, didn't she?
It'll
That's
be
her
hen-
entire career, isn't it? That's her entire career. Is writing tales of men.
he will be henpecked now. He's in his place. Don't you worry.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got Born Identity to thank for Frank Marshall. He was responsible for getting that off the ground. You know what I mean? And it's a brilliant series.
What, the Born Identity created
Born
Frank
films,
Marshall?
yeah, the Born
Wow,
films.
thanks,
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah. So and I think she
Big
was
name.
producing. So you know,
Yeah,
she
but
did.
Big name takes slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very big
She was-
name
I
from
know.
the 80s.
I must say, because he's my current broadcasting hero, Robert Meyer Burnett has gone on record with one of his latest shows saying, "Stop having a pop at Kathleen. She's brilliant." So I just playing devil's advocate. I think she gets too much of an easy ride myself. But I ultimately concluded I don't even know what producers do, and quite frankly, I don't care. They just they do numbers and make the coffee, don't they? It's all about the director, the writer, and to an extent the main actors. Beyond that, I don't give a toss about the producer. Who produced the original Star Wars? We don't even know. Why is Kathleen Kennedy even
Very
famous? Whether she's an idiot or a genius, I don't care. The Kathleen Kennedy section in my brain, it says memory full. All right, I don't want to hear another thing about Kathleen Kennedy.
Purge.
Yeah, you were ahead of the curve 2 days ago, Brown. I'm sick of hearing her name. I don't care.
Do you know what?
I don't
Sometimes-
care. Yes.
Sometimes nature has a way. Sometimes nature has a way of actually telling you the truth. Now, Kathleen Kennedy. It's no coincidence that Kathleen Kennedy's initials is KK.
Ah,
on.
yeah.
I wonder if her middle name begins with a K.
Oh,
Come on.
Kathleen Karen Kennedy. Of course, it all makes sense. That's why they didn't have. That's why they only got a discount Keira Knightley to play Ray. Because if they got Keira Knightley, it'd be too obvious as a Kathleen Kennedy insert. I'm absolutely convinced that is the only reason why Keira Knightley did not get the role of Ray. Because no offense, Daisy, but you are a discount Keira Knightley. You're not quite as pretty, and you can't act as good. Sorry, that's the way it is. Good luck with your new Chaos bollocks with your blonde wig and your fucking annoying geezer from Spider-Man.
what?
That looks like a bunch of shit too.
I met Keira Knightley once, and
I
you
was
know,
in concept with
she's-
her.
think about her seriously. When you meet in real life, is you realize how big her head is. Her neck is really thin, and her head's like a
literally.
lollipop. No,
Literally.
seriously, it's like a
Literally.
lollipop. So when
Is
she's
she
got
like
I just
hair,
noticed that. I
She's in a
saw-
life-size-
I was
Yeah,
on
I
that
had a
Jack
post-
Ryan thing. Or yeah.
Pence
was on the
dispenser.
did you meet her? Did you meet her?
She was sat on the stairs. I was sat next to her, kind of thing, but I didn't speak to her.
All right. But do you notice
Her-
how big her head is? How round her head is?
Her Funko Pops are actual size.
No, but she's very pretty.
Totally correct.
One
She's
to
a
Yeah,
one.
she is.
walking Funko.
Of course, she's pretty. She's a lovely woman.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just-
only joking because you are so incredibly.
She's very
unbelievably
thin.
beautiful.
She's very thin.
She's
Stick
tiny.
thin, yeah.
Hang on,
PD,
hang on. I've just figured out what Kathleen Kennedy's middle name is. I've just looked her up on Wikipedia.
What is it?
Kathleen apostrophe K-I-N Kennedy.
What's the KIN? Oh.
Oh, fucking Kennedy.
very good. PD Rich, it'll go
Says-
one of two ways with KK and her contract. It'll either get suddenly and
Explicitly.
renewed, or she'll go on gardening leave and never return.
No, she's not going anywhere. I'm telling you, that contract is ironclad that she got. She's not stupid. She's
Even though
you
it
know,
runs
she's-
out.
I don't think it's going to run out somehow. I think they're going to renew it. I'll be pretty surprised if they didn't renew it, tell you the truth. But she has so much dirt on so many people.
Must
That's
be
why
the only
I think
reason
that's
I
the
can
thing.
think of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
couldn't care less.
but I mean, at some point she's got to make it come up and something. Come on, somehow.
It's not like a movie, is it? I mean, you know.
Yeah,
They could make a movie. They could make a movie out of it.
They should. They should make a documentary right now. The Kathleen Kennedy story. Kathleen Kennedy played by.
And the irony would be that probably be a massive success. You know?
Yep.
I reckon.
People will watch that.
I'd pay for that. Available on Netflix, not Disney.
So, getting back to WandaVision, now we kind of agreed that probably a missed opportunity, a bit too drawn out.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
you know what, right? It wasn't bad and it wasn't great. That's the way I'd leave it.
It was fair to middling, wasn't it? Really, which okay.
Unfair to middling.
It's a shame. I was excited by the premise. I thought the premise was great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But
It was clever and original.
it just wasn't executed very well. I mean, I got really bored with it, and considering how long the episodes were, I find that remarkable that they can manage to make it feel
Yeah.
like it's dragging when it's only
probably
like 20
two.
7
yeah.
minutes long.
Probably
Also,
2
minutes
hours
of
too long.
credits.
The question that remains, right, is that she goes and sees Vision broken up on a table. She leaves, she drives, she keeps driving to where? How does she pick that town? And how does she know she could do that? Suddenly she gets into this area where there's no house and suddenly she goes, ah, and she creates the whole of the town. Why? And how did she know she could do that? You see, these little things, you know, it just glosses over you. But when you look at it deeper, you think, well, how did she know she could do that? And if you're grieving, why would you do that? I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. It doesn't stick with me. Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Maybe you would have to rewatch it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to do it though.
Rather you than me, mate.
But yeah.
So not everyone pulled a Kevin Smith and cried then.
Kevin
Fake
Smith.
cried.
Did Kevin Smith cry?
Yeah, he apparently posted a picture on the internet of him
Shill.
with red eyes.
You know what? I used to really like Kevin Smith, but now he's sold out. He's sold out big time, isn't he?
Lost weight, sold
Kevin
out.
Smith.
You know,
foot soldier for the woke brigade.
you know, we had
Nicely
Ruin.
put.
You know,
Ruin
we had
Johnson.
Ruin on the other night.
The other Ruin, the real
Roundhead
Ruin,
Johnson?
the English one, the English Ruin.
All right. What did he say?
We had him on here. He was, yeah, it was good. We were doing the.
I recommend going back and listening to it. It was really good.
I've listened to it again. It was really good. Yeah, Shill Wars. Yeah,
Very
Star
funny.
Wars, Shill Wars. We had him. Was it Monday and Wednesday? Yeah.
Who fucking knows anymore?
Yeah, we were talking Star Wars, and then we got into the Shill Wars and Ruin, the Roundhead Johnson, and Man Baby, and all that. Yeah, it was really good.
You know what though? Hollywood's definitely going downhill if they don't.
Gone
wake
downhill,
up
mate.
soon. Well, no, they're still there. They're still there. Otherwise, the WandaVision would never have been made. But what I'm saying is that they need to
peaked.
wake up now. If they wake up too late,
Yeah.
it's going to be too late for everyone.
It's going to be like the record industry, you know, exactly the same sort of situation.
Yeah, they got
different
fat
reason,
lately.
but you know, they didn't keep up with, you know, the current events, and that's it. You know, you become dated very, very quickly.
Yeah,
and this whole woke thing will get dated. Well, I mean, it's already dated, you know, and it takes about 2 or 3 years for them to catch up normally.
Yeah,
everything in so much flux.
Do you think woke is over?
Not picking the right side of it.
of course it isn't. It's still got a long way to go because these people are determined. And I was talking to John Trent today, and he was saying that because I was
Who's
saying,
John
how come
Trent?
I think he's bound
Bounding
in
into
comics.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
And he was saying that I was saying, how comes nobody stood up? You know, any like Spielberg and stuff like that. And who's funding this? And he was saying that he thinks that Disney is taking a cut, or or losing money because they think the long game is going to be better. They're going to win in the long game, so they're going to take the hits when it comes to money because
On
they
1 hour.
actually believe they're changing the world and making the world a better place.
By
Just like Michael
drinking
Jackson.
John Boyega on
Jackson
a
song.
tiny
Yeah,
space,
exactly. So.
hypocrites.
And so
You
they're
know,
willing
so
to take
deluded.
that they're willing to take that loss in revenue.
Yeah, I think
Because they
that's
think
know-
they're the good guys when they're actually modern day fascists, pretty much.
Yeah.
Proto-fascists.
You know why Disney will
Mickey Mouse.
ultimately Disney
Mickey
will
Mouse,
ultimately
Hoo-ha.
win because
Disneyland Autonomous Region.
they are the digital babysitter of choice.
Well, do you
No,
know what?
Well,
On that note-
that culture needs to change. Parents need to
Well-
wise up to all of this nonsense.
Yeah.
well,
And
information coming
re-educate
in.
their kids.
That's
Because
lazy. isn't it?
my son has he's kept his Disney Plus. He's not getting involved in the Gina Carano thing because he likes watching things. But you know what he's watching on Disney Plus right now? Planet of the Apes. So even he's getting bored of the modern stuff, and he's actually watching the classics. So he's watching. Finally, he's getting.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
the original 1967, whenever it was, 68. So yeah, Planet of the Apes. I was actually
Brilliant.
pleasantly surprised.
Sweet.
So
Damn
Yeah.
you all to hell!
exactly. So in fact, he's already figured out. Dad, I think they're on planet Earth. He's figured it out. That's my boy. So there you go. There you go, Disney. As the stats will show, even the kids are like, "Yeah, this modern stuff bollocks. We're going back to the classics."
I hear that the ratings have gone down 30% on this one.
Damn.
Apparently,
And
that's normal though. Apparently,
Okay, and then they're going to go up to episode 4, and then it's going to go on hiatus. Apparently,
yeah. I had a look at the Internet Movie Database. I think there's another 2-3 episodes, and then
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a death knell. I mean, what the hell?
yeah, just as it's got going as well.
Yeah, it's built momentum nicely, hasn't it? And just
Yeah.
on 2 episodes.
yeah, and I think they're stopping it because they want the girl playing Lois Lane to eat more. I think that's what they wanted to.
Ian,
She's so thin, it's ridiculous.
Ian,
Just so
there
thin,
are,
her eye is squeezed out to the right, you know.
there are some naturally thin people, you know, like
Nah,
Keira
she's Hollywood.
Knightley.
Like when she ordered
Hollywood.
that from that barbecue, that full rack of ribs, I was like,
Meat.
darling, you're nothing but a full rack of ribs.
Like a really-
Keira Knightley as Skeletor.
She's never eaten a rack of ribs in her life. No way.
She is a rack of ribs.
It's
But
like-
she is like the bit where
Nice.
she was leaving the Daily Planet. There's a scene in it where she was leaving the Daily Planet, and you got a full shot of her from head to foot. I was thinking, this girl needs some burgers in her, mate. She really does, and she is so thin, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Well, she makes Margot Kidder look practically obese. You know, she was a skinny one.
Yeah.
Daily anorexic. All bulimic. Other disorders are available.
I think they may have cast her to kind of have that reminiscence of Margot Kidder.
Yeah,
Oh.
Gary from Nerdrotic said pretty much the same thing, that they're trying to go for the kind of authentic look of the 70s. Trying
The
to
only good casting is the guy with the curly hair. He looks like Superman's son, and a blonde one looks like Superman's son. But the guy playing Superman has an evil looking face. I'll never get used to that. He is so
Ooh.
badly cast.
He's a good Clark. He's a good Clark Kent, I'd say. Actually.
No, there's no difference between him and Superman. I mean, I don't understand why they don't
Well,
see
there's
that.
never
he's
much-
I
Superman.
think when he was in the
With a
Daily
pair of
Planet,
glasses.
he did the whole sort of bumbling kind of.
yeah, he did that very well. Yeah, I
Yeah.
picked up on that straight away. I thought, yes, very good.
It reminded me of Christopher
Reeve.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Lee.
I thought-
Thank you.
I thought
Thank
that was
you.
a brand of jewellery for your backside. Bumbling. Never mind.
Cool.
I just
new
don't think
thing.
I don't think
How
he looks
dare you.
like Superman. I really don't.
I know
But
what you
anyway.
mean. He's got a kind of like River Phoenix kind of
He's got a sharp look.
about him. Yeah, very.
He hasn't got a very welcoming face like Chris Reeves and Henry.
Yeah,
Henry has that kind of sexy thing going with Henry.
Speaking of Chris Reeves, have you seen the new YouTube video with deep fake?
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's not very good though.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
with
okay.
Superman Returns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shallow fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris Reeves for me, and Linda
It's Chris
Carter for
Reeves.
me.
Yeah.
Perfect
Reeves.
Superman and Wonder Woman, as far as I'm concerned. Costumes and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman. That's it.
Yeah, same here.
Easy.
Yep, same here. Seconded, thirded.
I was blown away from
Yeah.
I went to see it at the
Make
cinema. I
it
must have
carry.
been 4 years old seeing Superman the movie. I was absolutely hooked.
Did you watch this week's episode then, Ian?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, it's all right. Lex Luthor's black. What a surprise. I thought it was very enjoyable, this one.
But it's not the
Personally.
Lex Luthor, though. It's a different one.
Yeah, I
isn't it?
know.
Different universe
CGI is
or
great
something.
in this as well. The fight scenes
Yeah,
are really good.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great. It was entertaining, really entertaining, and you do get to like the characters. As I said,
Agreed.
I don't think he I don't think he should be cast as Superman, but I'm warming to him. I'm
But
rooting
you've
for
got the
him.
Trump stand-in as well. The main
Morgan
villain.
Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
topical.
like the
We're going to get a
kid.
shitload of these things, by the way. Another Trump villain.
I don't know his name. The kid who's on the right of the picture.
Billy Goat.
The one with the problems.
Yeah, curly hair. Yeah, he's good. He's good
Problem
casting.
kid.
Yes, I'm totally
Bit
buying
chunky,
into him.
bit
Yeah.
chunky.
Needs a haircut.
But he's
Less donuts.
he
Is
has,
his name
he has
Jordan?
problems. I
Is his
don't
name
know, but
Jordan
he's Superman's son.
Jordan,
Superman's son
yeah.
Named
too.
after Jor-El. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, you got a strange feeling that the blonde-haired guy is going to start developing some superpowers as it
definitely.
goes on as well.
Yeah.
But as I said,
especially on the because we've seen him as a quarterback, right? So eventually, I think because the black boyfriend of the girl, he's going to push him too far on the sports field, I think, and he's just going to go like do some super whoop ass or something.
it's gonna laser asses. His arse, basically.
It's
Gonna keep that ball. It's going to go flying into space or something.
it's been renewed for season 2.
Oh, has it?
Yep.
Well, let's hope it isn't a bait and switch, though. Where they lead you along this merry path, and then look, it's actually woke.
The reason why it looks so good is because HBO have piled a load of money into it, apparently.
Well, I mean, last night on Friday Night Tights, they showed a clip of an episode of Supergirl and this CGI, and that was oh god, it was so cringe. It was like the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was like something from Captain Power in the yeah.
Isn't the hiatus of why it's not going to be on for a few weeks is because it's the catching up with Supergirl? Is that correct?
No, it's the COVID. They stopped filming because of the COVID, and now they're back.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's right. But you know what? When I saw the first episode of Supergirl, I didn't think it was too bad, and then series 1 wasn't too bad. It's just when it got to CW, it started changing, and it became more woke, and as it went on, it became more woke. So, it started off well, like this show. So I hope it doesn't happen to this show. I hope this show doesn't turn completely woke, and then we all abandon it.
Well, they did sack someone, didn't they? One of the writers for trying to race swap the
Kents.
master and so that was a good sign. I mean, we'll see.
We'll see, right? Because it's under the CW banner, so and they have a lot of power.
Well, maybe they thought let's give the woke audience the Batwoman, then we could sneak in the Superman and make our money back on that loss. Maybe that's what they're doing. Pandering to an audience whilst,
But do you think it's something to do with the fact that, as I've just said, HBO have piled a lot of money into this?
Maybe.
So it's too kind of serious for them to bring in all. Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I just really hope it isn't a bait and switch because these companies love to demoralize the audience. So
Matt,
that is my big fear.
Matt, have you seen both episodes, Matt?
I've not seen one. I'm going to wait until it's finished. I'm not going to wait until it's finished. If it's not woke by the end of it, I'll binge it.
Right.
Good call, mate.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. When I saw the first episode, I don't know. I was just kind of, maybe it just caught me off guard. I was literally in after the first scene had finished.
Well,
you know,
the reason I decided to watch it serially is a simple reason, really, and why I'm not waiting to binge watch it is because everyone's talking about it, so you're just going to constantly be
watch it
faced with
weekly.
shitload of
Yeah,
spoilers.
yeah.
So I thought, oh, bugger that. And it's really annoying that usually with things like this, they get simulcast or put out at the same time, so that everyone can watch it. So, I mean, the internet exists. I think these companies need to realize that. And, they're going to lose people to the high seas because people want to watch it at the same time. They don't want it spoiled. And it really just seems stupid that they don't organize these things in advance that they can,
you have to remember as well that this type of TV is relatively new. So they will. I mean, I reckon in the next 2 years' time, they will sort it out that when something is released, it's released right around the world.
Well, they did do that with Game of Thrones. They did that with
no. But the problem they've got now is because there's too many. There's too many streaming platforms. They've got to sort out a position where everyone sees it and it's on one platform, and all the other platforms get money from that. They've got to come up with that solution. Otherwise,
well, I mean, I know for a fact that Superman and Lois will end up on Sky or Sky Atlantic or something. So, I mean, why they didn't just do that?
But that's what I'm saying. I think this kind of TV is quite young, so it just needs a couple of years for them to sort that out. Do you know what I mean?
I think that it's been done before. It's been done already. They can do it. They know they can.
No, not like this. Not like this, because you have so many platforms and so many streaming platforms now. Look, if they release James Bond right on, say, Disney, you've got to join Disney. If they release it on another channel, you've got to join that channel. But what I'm saying is that there's got to be a way where...
but if HBO are funding it, look, I mean, HBO, if they're funding this, right, we know, right? Anyone who lives in HBO, in the UK, everyone who ends up in the UK knows that it ends up in Sky Atlantic. Almost HBO stuff does.
No, so maybe I'm not making it clear. Like they've got to sort out something like the cinema. So when a film is released in the cinema in every country, anyone can see it, no matter if you're not part of it. You know what I mean? So they've got to do that with the streaming thing. They've got to sort out a platform where there's one place you can go to see it. And it's released to the entire world, and those other streaming things, they get money from that one platform, like a virtual cinema. That's what they're going to sort out. That's what they're going to sort out.
What you're kind of saying is effectively, I think maybe what will happen somewhere down the line, there'll be maybe one mega streamer for everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe say 4 streamers where you can get all the content, but it's obviously you've got the individual kind of perks for it's all very new, this stuff. I kind of it's going to be 4, 5, 6 corporations running the world. It's getting there. It's only a matter of time when it happens.
That's not a bad idea. Virtual cinema. Cineworld could have a virtual cinema, and they could operate the same way, and then you end up paying the same amount of money. If you want to see it now on your TV screens, they end up paying the same money as if you were going to the cinema, maybe even just a little bit less. But then, as I'm saying, I think they're going to have to figure that out one day, because I hope cinema comes back. But if it does come back, I don't think it's going to enjoy the glory days that it did before the pandemic. So Hollywood's going to, and all those platforms are going to have to put their heads together and do something so that anyone can watch the product. Anyone. So, until then, things are young, right?
It's a brave new world.
It is. PD Rich says it will eventually drip down to Sky and terrestrial. Bat, Wagman, and Star Trek Disgrace. Batwoman.
Yeah.
Star Trek Disgracery ended up on E4.
My point though, that can kill a TV series. That can kill a film. If you have to wait like 3 months to see a film that's released in the rest of the world, you'll lose interest. You know what I mean? And that's what they've got to come back against. These streaming platforms, they've got to figure out a way how to when it's released to the world. Like it's in the cinema, like you can go and see it.
And not just nationwide. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so but anyway, we'll find out what will happen in the next 3 years.
I would imagine that's probably just around the corner.
Maybe, who knows?
So
who knows what's around the corner?
at
Alien
present,
invasion. That's where
for
my money's
the,
going.
I'm surprised it's not happened. So for the people who've seen Superman and Lois,
Yes,
we
I
like
like
it. Let's just hope
Don't
that
care.
it doesn't go
Haven't
down
seen it.
the.
Never gonna watch it. I don't give a fuck. Next.
If anything, it proves we're desperate for a decent Superman program or TV
Not that
series.
desperate.
I'm sick of Superman and Batman. Sick of them. I never want to see him ever again. No joke coming. I'm just sick of Batman and Superman. I don't like superheroes to begin with. Did
Well,
I
that's
not
why you're
mention
sick of
the
them.
thousands of comics? Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think
You
there's
know,
been
and
such a glut, and it's, you know, how many times do we need to keep seeing an origin story? How many times do they need to try out a new actor in a new suit doing the same
exactly.
thing?
How many times? Exactly. I'm at the point where you got boy Batman and his parents. I'm just like, just fucking shoot his parents. Get it over with. Come on, kill them. Just kill me. I'm right here.
Aye.
Now, Resident
Right
Alien,
here.
another program I've not
You
watched.
can't see me.
I'm right here. Get to the chopper.
Get to the
You
job.
thought I
Get
was
to the
real-
chopper.
thought I was the resident alien. I am. It's not a tumor.
Yeah, I think they fall back on superheroes because they don't like taking risks, even though they risk everything by doing all this woke bullshit anyway. But I think I'd like to see like Resident Alien,
exactly.
original new concepts and ideas, you know, that have more fun. It's more entertaining because, you know, it's something new. I'm much more interested in that.
And
to be honest.
very entertaining.
Anybody watched it this week?
I did. I thought it was
I haven't
great.
watched. I know that
Big guest star this week.
I know
Yeah.
Swap Shops sent me the newest one, but so I need to check that one.
It's a really good episode. I don't want to spoil it for Lee, but it's another entertaining episode and stuff that made me laugh out loud again. You know, so this show's really high on my Richter scale, put it that way. So I don't know what else. Yeah.
Good logo. It almost looks like there's a pun in there, a visual pun that I can't see. You know what I mean? It looks like it looks more clever than it is. Is there a little alien figure in there I'm not seeing? It's on a slight angle, all lowercase, sans serif. Whoever did the logo, well done. There's a lot of thought put into that. I like it.
You can see the reflection in the window, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's
The boy wasn't in it this week. Did you notice?
No, he wasn't. They're friends now, though.
They are.
Yeah, you can tell. Remember the last episode?
Oh yes.
So they're friends. They're kind of like he actually says I used to hate him, but now I just think that I can't remember the last line, but yeah. So they're kind of friends now. Him and the little girl, the little boy and the little girl. So yeah, and it ends in a cliffhanger, which is good. Had a superstar in this episode. Which was good.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see the next episode. That's how good this show is.
We're kind of getting to the business end of the subplot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you agree? Yes. No.
Well, we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to guess, and the sheriff is funny as always in this episode as well.
Big Black.
Yeah, Big Black.
He's great.
He said to his deputy, I can't speak.
Oh, she's great as well. I love
To the
those two as a
deputy.
couple.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like the arm wrestling scene. That was hilarious as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was so funny. But yeah, no, I recommend it. If anybody's out there listening to this, I recommend it. Watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Matt,
Matt, are you watching it?
Oh, I'm fully up to date. Yeah, I've I tell you, it's a testament to a show when it can hold your attention for the entirety of its run.
Yep.
And you're not once tempted to look away at anything or get
Yeah, not at your phone, nothing. You know, you just sit there and just watching
agreed.
it.
Yeah.
Enthralled. Yeah.
Yeah, cup of coffee and just watch it like the old days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also another thing, it's out each week, so you can't binge it. You can talk about it with your friends before you see the next episode.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing about it as well. I mean,
I think the binge model is a terrible way of dropping a show for people to watch. If you're gonna, if people want to binge it, just let them.
I think it's all right.
At the end.
I think it's all right if you've got a big show that people will watch regardless. Like a. I mean, if they've done Star Trek and did it well, for example, and people would watch it anyway, so that it would have worked with something like that. But with something that's new, and that needs to grow in reputation. I think you need that sort of what they call the water cooler thing, where you can people talk about it. Yeah.
But that's what they should do,
yeah.
shouldn't they? They should basically release it each week, and when the series has done its run, they should allow it to be binged.
Yeah.
After the
Now everyone's on lockdown. Do we all get domestic water coolers? Because that's
I know. There's no water cooler moments at the moment.
I think it's more metaphorical.
You're not on lockdown, Cockney, are you?
as of today, back off. We're back into freedom. Slight
There you go.
restrictions in the Auckland region, so I could go out and buy my own water cooler. So
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, freedom. As long as there's not a tsunami coming to kill us all. Yeah, I predict because of the tsunami that we didn't quite that we got threatened with. Everyone basically climbed up to the high ground to avoid the tsunami, breathed all over each other. So I predict a COVID pandemic next week, all over New Zealand. But hopefully I'm wrong, like all my bad predictions. Hopefully I'm wrong.
But is Deckard a replicant?
No, don't start that again.
Well, funny you should ask that. Is he a rock? I'll tell you what, actually, on one of my broadcasts that I did, someone came up with the idea that maybe Rachel is a human. I thought, there's a twist.
Ooh.
Lee,
was that PD Rich?
Yes, I think this is absolutely fucking hilarious. I mean, what the fuck are they thinking? Seriously? Really? A fucking rock navigator. There we go.
It's only rock and roll, but
I think that it's surprising they didn't have a plank to play.
What, Daisy Ridley?
Like Eric Sykes.
Eric Sykes carrying
that's
Daisy Ridley.
That's too old for them to know.
This is very I know.
Sorry,
for the parents out there.
This is very on the nose.
Eric Sykes joke.
This character is very on the nose for current state of Disney Star Wars. I think it's the sheer lack of self-awareness that must have gone into this is mind blowing.
It's either
they're trolling deliberately.
It's either the lack of self-awareness or it's an extreme awareness of the audience, and they're trolling the audience to the extreme.
I don't think that smart, to be honest.
They don't look it.
No.
Then therefore,
I think they genuinely think this is a really good idea.
They must be completely stoned. Thank you.
I'm here all week.
On that note, by the way, I'm going to be sodding.
I wonder if it has if it has children. If the brood of its children is called Gravel, I'd like to know.
Wah, 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 wah.
Just reminded me, there was a kid at my school called Greville. Maybe they can call him that.
Breville the toaster.
Greville.
No, a GRE Greville.
Granville.
GREVILLE. Yeah, weird name. Never heard it before or since, but probably call him that. But I think they're going to fail on a landslide with this.
Nice. Is there a soundtrack? Is it rock music?
Jesus.
All the puns. Come on, it's funnier than anything Disney had come out with. Anyway, it's all right. I'm going in a minute, or within 5.
Well, I reckon it's going to get slated.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was just trying to think of a slate pun. Yeah.
Something igneous. Make up your own joke. I know. Something igneous. La 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 la. Metamorpho, whatever it is. Metamorpho. Because there's 3 sedimentary. Yeah, that's it. Sedimentary, my dear Watson.
I wonder if it's socially advancing. Like a rock climber.
Oh, nice.
You just imagine it sort of keeling over with pain, couldn't you? And just complaining to the crew on the ship. Oh, I've got a crampon.
Oh, God. Help us.
It's going to lose money. They'll be stony broke.
Oh, dear. But even these jokes are still better than the High Republic scripts. So
a pun is a pun is a pun.
Is that a comic or is it a film?
In the same way now.
I don't even know anymore.
Is it a comic or is it a film? Sorry.
I was just going to say, if you go to Stonehenge, all I'm going to be able to see now is one giant gangbang.
Oh,
Jesus. Wah, 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 wah.
Adrian, you're Adrian.
Not good, is it?
Yeah, it's got to be the ultimate
Trying
troll.
hard now.
Got to be.
Is he from Philadelphia? Rocky. Sorry, that was a bit
Rock.
cheesy. Philadelphia. Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Just all the punchlines, none of the
Do you
jokes.
think if he gets into trouble, it screams for Alp? Alp! Alp!
Oh, that's actually so bad.
Jesus.
It's good.
Cockney,
like
did you
it.
see that video I sent you this morning about that guy who's looking at the 4K? It's really interesting because
Blade
he's even
Runner.
got the laser disc versions of Blade Runner as well. This guy's crazy about Blade Runner. I mean, he shows the laser disc and it looks beautiful, you know, the thing that he's got. So, man, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on the.
Yeah, I need to get a 4K plate. Yeah, so no, I haven't, but I just still can't. I'm reeling from the fact that this week I got my 4K. Well, it said 4K Blu-ray DVD of the final cut. There's no final cut Blu-ray. I mean, I've got it anyway on another edition, but they didn't know that. What a swizz! You'd think, a lot of people will buy it for the Blu. So just, I'll put a warning out on Twitter for that
hasn't it
version
got
of Blade Runner.
But you usually have a Blu-ray player within that 4K thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a real swizz. They got the final cut on 4K. They got the final cut on DVD, but then the Blu-ray's got the original version and two other versions. There's the original version, the director's cut, and the original European release, but not the final cut. So they've got everything, almost every combination, apart from the final cut on Blu-ray. What a swizz! So that's the one.
Really?
With the unicorn. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, but I triple checked and did a video about it. So there you go.
They'll probably wait for the next anniversary so they can, make more money.
Get
next
more
year,
money.
isn't it?
I mean, it will be exactly. It'll be 40 years.
40.
That's why. That's why I definitely got to get the book out for then. Is Deckard
Better watch out for that. Yeah.
Those laser discs, though, they look amazing. I'm even though the quality is less than the 4K and the Blu-ray, still though for the cover you get and all that, absolutely terrific. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a laser disc even though I haven't got a laser disc player, but I really like to get my hands on it though. It's just really
actually.
cool.
I haven't, because I'm not at the Fortress of Solitude currently. I'll be back there later today. Apparently, I've got 2 more Blade Runner books arrived in the post waiting for me. So more Blade Runner information next week. Hey, brilliant. I don't think we've discussed it enough, really. But anyway, moving on. Actually, you know what? That's my cue to go. Otherwise, I will start talking about Blade Runner. So I've just been reminded I'm a parent. I've got some parenting to do. So we're off to cause some trouble in town. And the boys smiling and nodding. So, we're off to kick ass randomly. We're going to do our own Superman.
You're lucky because you can literally go into town now.
Yeah, sorry.
I haven't done that for a month. I haven't done that for a year. I literally have not been in my town centre for a year.
We'll try not to have too much fun, but so it's been a very quick 90 minutes. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of it. Hopefully, I'll catch up the rest of it later. But yeah, thanks very much. I'm dipping out. Enjoy, and don't talk about Blade Runner when I'm not there.
Nope.
Or else I'll be back in. I will within the next 6 months watch Rebecca Gold. So there you go. Now I have feelings, but not because not because I feel that I should. It's actually because I want to. Because I want to know what happened to that pizza. So on that note,
we ate it.
No, I quite liked it. Hey, all right.
See you later. Ta-da.
All right. Cheers. Bye. Bye.
So there he goes. So open house. Anything you want to talk about, guys? If you want to see it through to the 2 hours. Yes. Anything?
I want to know how Matt's doing with his writing.
I'm doing all right, actually. I was doing. I wrote a couple of a great passage earlier on. If I do say so myself, I was quite surprising myself. And then I got a message from Mr. Brown. I thought, oh no, I'm on a flow now, and it's always the way. I'll get on like a
sorry.
Sorry. I'll have to sort of ditch it and go and do something else. But I'd love to read it out, but I'd ruin, like, if you guys ever get to read it, then I'll ruin, like, you'll remember it. And when you go to read it, we're going, oh yeah, but I know that happens later. So none of this is a bloody shock now, when you're reading it. But I read it back to myself about 3 or 4 times. And I was like, oh yeah, you're not getting, you're actually like improving quite a lot of this, aren't you? Just the way that you arrange words and stuff, it comes naturally after you've done it so many times, and you know what kind of sounds good to your internal ear when you're typing it out. But I'm at a really enjoyable part where I can create something that's not been established in the Star Wars universe, so I can actually embellish my own mysticism into it. And
it's not Force time, is it?
No. No, it's the mysticism and the fantasy element. I'm really able to sort of dig my fingers into and really sort of like knead it like a loaf of bread. So I can, I'm relishing the aspect of sculpting something out and creating a mood of a particular scene. And when I do it, when I've been writing, I've tended to play John Williams music in the background on YouTube because they're like these 3-hour-long videos.
Nice.
And it helps so much with creating atmosphere when you're writing, And I can just, when I'm writing, I've just got the John Williams score, with little incidental, tiny little bits here and there that when a certain character's making a certain decision or a certain look on their face or things like that I'm trying to get that across in words. It's just tricky, but I think I'm doing it. I really think I'm doing it. And it's
so when you write a specific character, then like do you skip to the sort of theme of that character, or do you just allow the whole thing just to play? And
it's right. So say that again. I missed the start of the question.
When you're listening to the music and you're writing a specific character in the scene, do you skip to like the theme of that character, or are you just playing the whole soundtrack on?
I'm just playing it, I let the emotions kind of fall randomly on me, if you know what I mean. When I'm typing away, but it's kind of best to do it that way, because there's one thing that I really love from the Disney trilogy that I remember above anything else. I really pretty much hated everything apart from this one thing, and it's John Williams' score when he wrote Rey's theme. And the whole thing's pretty much forgettable, but her theme is exquisite. It's a little bit Harry Pottery, but it fits so perfectly well, and it could easily have been in the original trilogy. It's the most memorable thing of the entire soundtrack for those 3 films. And whenever that comes up, just randomly, and I really like to. This is why I like to just listen to the whole soundtrack. And whenever it pops up randomly, it's kind of your ears prick up, and you're like, oh, it kind of sends a shiver down your spine, because the rest of it's kind of a bit backgroundy and a bit generic in a way, because it is a movie. Soundtrack, so it's supposed to be some more subconscious than anything. But when that comes along, it's a magical piece of music, and it kind of really plays well to the fantastical and magical elements that I've got in the story. And whenever those bits pop up in the story and and the fantasy parts, like what I'm writing at the moment, you get that kind of feeling of when you're little and you're finding out about the Force for the first time, and you're finding out about the Jedi and this, that, and the other, and it's all like, oh, this is all really exciting and all new and everything. And that little bit of music just instills that in me every single time, and that energy comes out into my fingers, and I'm just type. So it's that. Hopefully that will come across, that enthusiasm.
Well, I mean, I think from what I'm getting, just purely from the way you're talking about it and your enthusiasm is your passion is not marred.
He's hyped.
He's a happy writer. That's a good sign.
Matt,
that's a good sign.
Is this question for you from PD? Can you read it?
Yeah. How are you coming on that novel you're working on? Got a big stack of papers there. Luckily, I haven't used one bit of paper other than a notepad, which I scrawled loads of things down. And when I first got the idea of starting it, and I rarely go back to it, but it's always there because I know it off by heart basically now. But it's there in case I do need to go right back like a couple of years from when I first started coming up with ideas. So that's the most of paper I've used. Everything else is digital. So after every time I've sat down and had a good typing session, I'll always back it up to email or something just in case, because you never know when what's going to happen. Do you?
You should get somebody to. The thing that I always do is I always basically send my scripts off to script doctors and stuff like that. And I know people can't afford it, but I can, so I send them off, because it's pointless sending it to people that you know or you trust, because they know you, so they're gonna be tainted by who you are. But when you send it to someone that you don't know, they'll just either, if your script is good, there'll be a couple of things they're not happy with. But if it's bad, they will rip it apart, and that's what you need, somebody to rip your script apart so you can see more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, once I've got all the aspects of the story down, and not all of the work done, obviously, but the aspects of the story down, the chunk of the labor done, then I probably will. I'll seek someone out, because I've got a couple of mates. One of them is an actual published author as well, so I might run it by him and see what he thinks, and just say to him, "Look, be brutal with me, because I'm sure there are things in there that I could just easily take out and rewrite." So it's only been my eyes on it, so I'd welcome it, definitely.
I mean, with my Doctor Who script, right? I have things in there that I'm not totally happy with, or think maybe that should change. So I do know through experience that it's gonna continue to develop and become something else before I actually, if I ever get to that point.
Are you going to script Doctor that?
Yeah, of course. But you know, like, just to give you an example, I've got a line in it where okay, so basically there's this girl named Sydney in it, and she's suffering from cancer, would you believe? So this doctor doesn't walk away from her and says, I'll stand over here. I'll stand over here.
Yeah, feeling a bit socially awkward.
Exactly, yeah. But she says to him, she says to the doctor, can I sit down? And the doctor says, I don't know, have you tried? So I don't even know if that works or not. Is that,
well,
does that work as the doctor?
Huh? I think you have to. Well, this is the gamble, I think, of any script, isn't it? It's how you cast it, how the actor delivers the line, and that can always change on the day. Because if the line doesn't work, then maybe it works out. You know, rehearsals, it might be ironed out, but you know, when it comes to filming, you might discover that it doesn't fit in the scene, or it might come out really funny, or really serious, or quirky, or whatever. You know, that's the joy of having a writer sort of imagine also, how it is. But I mean, when a director or an actor sees it differently, and they pull it out in a different way.
Table read always helps as well when they do when the actors do a table read. So once they do a table read and you hear the words spoken by the actors that are actually going to play that part, you'll realize whether the dialogue will work for them. Do you know what I mean? So that's another thing that helps.
Script doctors are expensive then?
No, well, they're not that expensive, to tell you the truth. And you know, you can always tell when a script doctor's crap, because you know it's like playing the lottery when you send your script off to people.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it.
Do you have a trusted one?
No, I don't. I try I try different ones and stuff. Right. So but you look, just to put it plainly, or so you can understand, if they criticize your script and say, I don't like this bit because this guy's wearing red shoes, then that's just an opinion. If they say, oh, that doesn't make any sense, the guy was in New York and then he walked through the door and he's in Hawaii, that's the criticism you're looking for. That's the stuff you're looking for. Not an opinion on something that could either be here or there. You're looking for someone to point out a plot hole for you, or something that doesn't make any sense. If they criticize your character and say they don't like him because of this, then that's purely their opinion, and you can go one way or the other with it. If they point out something
technical, really.
If they point out something about your script, the plot hole doesn't work, or this character doesn't work because of this, and this, you've got to consider what they're saying, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone that will like every moment of it, you know. And then you've got to come to your own conclusion whether you want to go with what you've got or whether you want to take what they say seriously. And, you know, and that's that really. Whatever it turns out to be is what it's going to be in the end of the day. So, especially when it comes to novels as well. So,
I was thinking actually when I was out running yesterday, and I'd seen Rebecca Gold, and I was just thinking, man, I wonder if Ian had let me send my my finished. I thought, hang on a minute, it'll take him 3 years to read this. I don't think I'll find someone else that's got a bit more free time. But
but it is hard to try and read other people's. I mean, could you not read something out, like a paragraph out to us?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Oh God,
just a small paragraph. I'll read some of mine out to you. You can read some of yours.
You know you want to.
I did the other day, didn't I? Last week or something like that.
You did. It was very good.
There.
I wasn't there.
It's hard to get the proper impression.
Just get it done. Just get it done.
Sorry.
While we're waiting for Matt, I'll just say to everybody in the chat, even though I know they're already subscribed, please like, share, subscribe. thumbs up, all that stuff. Tell your friends about us if they kind of, if you like this stuff. Just
if you haven't got any friends, just kidnap people
I
on
am-
the street, tie them up in the basement, and force them to watch it.
I am dangerously hovering to 100 subs. So if I could just push over, I'd be just tickled pink. So if you could do that for us fellas in the chat, that'd be great. So, onwards and upwards and all that. So, Are you ready, Matt?
All right. I'm just going to read a random bit out because it'll take me forever to find a good bit, right? So
okay. So this is your Star Wars work. Yes, this is your Star Wars treatment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It'll probably raise more questions than anything else, but I'll just read
on 140.
I'll do the voices as well because that's what I've got in my head when I'm writing it.
Nice.
Order our fighters to cover our flank. Keep them off the hull. All forward thrust. Take us out of their range. The virulence continued to escape velocity and left the city behind, but the attack had left an opening for further vengeful citizens to penetrate its defenses. A heavily modified spice-running gunship blasted its way through the escorting TIE fighters at the destroyer's tail and launched its remaining complement of weapons at the port ion thrusters. The 200-meter tall nozzle cones on each engine scorched everything in the ship's wake with a backwash of intense heat. But the pilot of the gunship carefully guided his missiles into the valance where each booster was mounted. With no shield to deflect them, the warhead struck the destroyer's drive section, causing the combustion within to breach the engine cylinder. The ion energy exploded through the hull, venting off from the ship's tail, and the bright blue light at its center faded and flickered out, leaving only twisted blackened metal and a plume of trailing smoke. The TIEs effortlessly picked off the heavily outnumbered gunship, but the damage had already been inflicted. It was not enough to stop the Star Destroyer, but it was adequate to considerably slow its progress. "We're losing power," yelled Commander Jix. "There are too many of them." "Stay on course," replied Tonars, demanding his crew to focus. "We still have 2 main drives. That's enough to reach orbit. All fighters to stern." Gun batteries and cannon installments in the city continued to fire on the destroyer from below, their heavy bolts of energy blasting into the night sky in bright plumes. The ship became scathed by the offensive artillery, scarring its armor deeply and detonating power conduits and coolant lines beneath its shell. But the still the wounded juggernaut struggled on, shrugging off the incessant harassment from below. "We're outrunning that destroyer," said Wedge, taking his glance at the rear.
Wedge!
"Just keep clear of it and we'll stay out of range of their cannons." "It's not the destroyer that concerns me," replied Poe over the comlink. "We got more TIEs on intercept course." "See 'em," replied Lurk Dragelis, checking the screen at his gunner station. There you go.
Whoa, that's great.
Very
That's
good.
really good.
Action.
That's a big action sequence, or middle of a big action
I
sequence.
think you could do audio.
You could do an audio play on that one, definitely.
You know, it's funny you should say that because I am
Hamill to read it.
I am thinking of serializing it on YouTube. Getting a few mates in to do some voice because I know a lot of people that can do some voices way better than me. But just to get the right, because Ray's in it, and I'd like to get someone that can do a proper female English voice for her because I'm useless.
Well, Lee's your man.
Well, I know someone who does voice work, and she's done a lot of Sarah Jane Adventure stuff, and she's also played Missy on a couple of audios. I could let her know, and she's I've done one performance of the Trickster from Sarah Jane Adventures. I've been asked to do another version of that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
wow.
There you go, Matt.
If you need someone,
Matt in the chat. You see it?
Damn, that's better than anything currently coming out.
It is. It is.
I would have said
it.
instead of firing down, I would have said barrage.
Thank you, PD.
I would have changed that to barrage.
I shall. I might have put that in because I've already included barrage somewhere close
maybe,
for it. But I'll bear that in mind. Thank you very much.
It's just like options for adjectives. I think because.
You can never have enough options for adjectives.
That's it.
This is a 2-part story. Yes, a treatment story.
It's one story, but I'm just going to have to cleave it down the middle because it's so long.
Right.
Ooh.
But it'd be like the 1 and then part 2. Brilliant.
Essentially, it's episode 8A, and that kind of incorporates episode 9 as well.
Wow.
Because it sidesteps the start of it, plays out pretty much the same as episode 8 at the beginning, because it kind of makes you think. Hopefully, it'll make people think, "Oh, I'm just reading fucking episode 8 here," and then suddenly, without knowing it, it changes, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then it goes off in a complete different direction. So the idea is to not trample all over episode 8, even though it deserves it. It's it's kind of to use it, and episode 8 kind of plays a part in this, if you like, because it's alluded to as like an alternate what might have been, that's been shown to the characters as like a dark side image, if you like, a dark side sort of a portent of what might happen, and it's their opportunity to change things. So I've in that respect, it's kind of included or alluded to in the story. So it's necessary that episode 8, Ryan Johnson's episode 8, actually exists for this to play off it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, if you can make it work, that's fantastic. You know.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, if I didn't think I could make it work, I probably wouldn't have started it. But you know, I thought. Well,
I listen from just that snippet and your enthusiasm. I think that you're onto a
winner.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, because you go so long without hearing anyone's affirmations or any kind of not even affirmations, but any kind of criticism or words towards what people, any impressions from anyone, and you've only got your own thoughts to go on. And when you go back and read certain things, and you start
self-doubt creeps in,
the self-doubt things. It's the biggest enemy of any author, I think, is self-doubt and just questioning what you've done and thinking, oh God, should I even be doing this? You know, and you really do need a little bit of enthusiasm from other people from time to time, and it helps so much hearing you guys say that. It really does.
Your heart is in the right place. It's coming from the right place, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, if his heart was in the wrong place, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
That's very true. Technically, very true.
It's good though. It's very
Cheers,
good,
man. I really not coming from you. That means a lot. Coming from you guys, that means a lot.
Yeah, cool. It's very good. I enjoyed that. It's got to be a radio play. It's definitely got to be a radio play.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it will be. Yeah.
Who would you like to read it? I think Mark Hamill would be great reading that. Can you imagine that?
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
How good would that be?
There's no way he'd do it for free, but it would be great. You're right.
Ask him.
I'll tell you who I'd really like to get it done by is the narrator Mark Thompson, who's done the Thrawn trilogy novels and a few others as well. They were done as audio, not audio dramas, but audio versions years and years back. But the guy that was doing them was terrible. And Mark Thompson's kind of redone them, and he does like so many voices.
Well, I think you should do them.
Well, I've got a decent voice.
I can try and do some, but you know, it's I really want to kind of immerse people in it, and I want to put sound effects in. I want to put the John Williams score in there as well. You know, I want to make it like a proper project that can immerse you audibly in the whole thing.
Sounds good.
Release it serialize it on YouTube and get hits and subscriptions that way, rather than try and make any money off it, if you like.
Well, you can put John Williams music into it, but what they do is they'll flag it and they will say it's copyrighted material, but they won't shut it down though.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping because it'll have dialogue over top of everything. It'll kind of
they will. No, it doesn't matter what you do. It's such a that music is so famous and it's probably in the algorithm that they will spot it. But what they won't do is they won't shut your thing down because of it. Yeah. They'll just say that it's copyrighted material. Yeah, you can't make money out of it. But then that's not your intention, is it, to make money out of it? So
no, you can put a disclaimer on there as well.
Exactly. So it won't be shut down. So in other words, you can use the music if you want to. I mean, I've got a trailer up on my channel, and it's like a little short film that I made called Ice Angels, and it's got the Queen song "We Will Rock You."
Oh yeah,
and it just says copyrighted material, but they didn't take it down though. It's still on there. So
yeah, so as long as it's there and people can hear it, that's
exactly. Yeah. I'm advertising Queen. They don't mind. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My goal from right from the start was, because it was such a letdown, this whole trilogy, is just to try
tell me about it.
Yeah, just hopefully give people a little bit of decent entertainment that can be taken from episode 7, because there was a lot of potential there. And there were also a lot of things that need to be corrected in that film, hopefully, which I've done, and just rounded out the project and put the meat and potatoes in and given people something that they can actually get their teeth into and enjoy, rather than be let down and left out in the cold by something that was just so disappointing to everyone. And then, you know, that everyone was looking forward to originally. And I know it's kind of arrogant to say that almost, but I'm doing it for myself primarily, but I just hope that other people can enjoy it as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, they will, because it can't be any worse than what they've given us.
I think your biggest problem is going to be, you know, the amount of apathy that towards these characters.
Yeah.
But if you can sort of win them round with rounding out these characters in the way that perhaps, you know, not perhaps, but how they should have been. You know, if you can get people at least to listen, that's going to be the thing that you're going to struggle with most, is actually getting people to listen and tune in.
That's it, isn't it? Because everyone's become so jaded with what we were given in this sequel trilogy, and all the actors and characters in it have all been tainted with that same brush as well.
So I would try and get one of the big YouTubers to
get Ruin to read it.
No, but what you should do, really, on a serious note, what you should do, Matt, when you've done it and you're happy with it, what you should do really is try and get on as many live streams as possible, and you know, obviously do the live streams, but talk about it. Just make sure they give you a little room to talk about it, so that people know that it's out there. And so when you do eventually do it,
and have clips. No, have some clips to say, you know, if you can get them to play like even a clip of it, you know, with all the pew pew and stuff going on, you know, that get people interested.
Yeah,
I suggest calling one of those Doomcock favors, mate.
Oh yeah.
Well, I shall be.
He owes you many. He owes you many.
Well, one person that could help you is Dan, because Dan championed a radio play of one of the new Doctor Who things done by fans. Yeah, I don't know how many views they got on it, but yeah, he championed it because he listened to it and he thought it was really good, so he championed it. So
yeah, I mean, grassroots YouTubers, you know, build up your audience, you know, pocket here, a pocket there, a pocket here, a pocket there. You know, then attract the attention of some of the bigger YouTubers, get on there. You know,
why not do the first? I don't know. Do a sizable chunk on this channel. Do it as
but no, you should really finish it first before you do anything. Seriously,
I mean, you've got to produce it. You've got to have the effects, the music.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that you might run a cropper to is if you play the copyrighted theme or music on someone else's channel who is monetized. That's the only problem you might face.
Well, we're not.
You always have to remember that the first thing you put out there is the last thing people take away. So if you don't, if it's not finished and you put out some, you know, hybrid version of it, then basically that's what they're going to take away with them. So you have to make sure that you give them the best you can.
Yeah.
So
I could. There, of course, you could sort of give a clip to somebody without the score.
Yeah, sure.
Without the score, so you could get around.
Or do one with an alternative score. You know?
There are plenty of other Star Wars-like scores out there that you can use.
There is the planets. That's where Johnny got some of his ideas from, innit?
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah.
If you listen to the planets, it sounds very much like Star
Well, if you
Wars.
listen to Neptune and Uranus, I think those are the most sort of most eerie. Uranus is
you just had to do it, didn't you? You had to do that. I was sitting there thinking, well done, Problem. You didn't stoop to it.
I didn't.
Done.
I refused.
Uranus. I'm just felt like
it's
applauding.
a beautiful name.
And I just felt
Uranus, not Uranus.
Brown at it, ticking over in his head, and I thought, oh no, don't.
He's so uncouth and low.
My finest quality.
Like Northerners.
Right about
Sorry.
I need to get that actually, because I can't believe I don't have host stuff, but I do need to get that. But good advice. Good advice.
Well done so far. You know,
that's good.
It's good shit.
It's good shit. Be a good one. Yeah.
And you know it's good because you can, when you're talking and then I'm sort of envisioning, I can visualize it, and that's the sign of you know, my mind ticking it over and listening and absorbing and taking me to that universe, you know, so that's good. Usually if someone reads something to me, I mean, you know, my grandmother used to read to me as a kid and I loved it, but no one ever sort of beats that. And I've heard a lot of audio books on YouTube and stuff, and I sort of zoned out, you know, just not interested. I don't like, for Big Finish, I listen to the audio dramas, but I don't listen to the, you know, someone just reading a book at me, you know, I just go, no. But you did very well in those couple of minutes. I was transported. That's good.
I read it like I'd be reading it to my son, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's exactly how people should read books on audio dramas, as if you're reading it to a child. I think that absolutely is the winning point.
Get John Campier to read it.
Oh God.
Who?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
no, you should okay to read it.
You imagine the state of it if he did that. Oh my God.
Pablo
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
Samuel L. Jackson, the motherfucking tie, get rid of the motherfucking scum, motherfucker. Yeah.
He's not allowed to swear in a Star Wars movie.
But you remember that book you read? That get to sleep, you motherfucker, or whatever it was. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it's good though. I was really into it. So
thanks,
yeah,
that says a lot. Thank you. Yeah,
you're on a good line there. Just keep on the line. You'll be fine.
PD Rich in the chat. I've got the planets as a B-side on a recording of Star Wars.
Yeah, it would fit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's if you listen to the planets, it's definitely John Williams definitely influenced by that for Star Wars.
You can tell.
It's very, very close. Yeah, it's very, very close.
And also there's some Carl Orff, from Camino Burana. There's some really nice stuff in there. You can just sort of almost do a Duel of the Fates kind of thing with that one.
Can you send me some links to some stuff on YouTube then? Because it's all going to be on YouTube, isn't it? Because I can play all that in the background when I'm writing. I'm always looking for stuff to play, so that'd be amazing.
Planets.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
It should be on YouTube. The planets.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. If there's anything else other than
Gustav Holst.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we used to listen to it in assembly at school. We used to sit there waiting for the assembly, and they'd be playing classical in the background while everyone was sitting there waiting for 5 minutes.
Oh wow, cool.
And we got like the Holst the Planets being played. We got treated to all that stuff. So it was awesome. It just conjures up images of like the convoy in Battlestar Galactica.
I think the music from Alien is very reminiscent of Holst, especially like Uranus and Neptune. It's got that kind of twinkly kind of ding.
Yeah, God, that's amazing. Just makes the hair stand up on your back. It's just
right.
You what?
Are you being bass again?
That's his default.
I'm good at it.
Play to your strengths, Brown. Play to your strengths.
Listen to the listen to the Superman soundtrack. How would that make you feel?
Well, it's very different though to Star Wars.
No, actually, I used to think that the theme tune to Superman and the theme tune to Star Wars are very similar, especially in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
I find them very similar.
I found
Superman is on YouTube. All the stuff I've been listening to, it's fantastic.
There's some really great. Some people have done like really sort of epic versions. Like there's a guy called Cinematic or whatever, and it's really does really, really over the top sort of modern day sort of versions of classic movie theme tunes, and they're absolutely fantastic, really dramatic, powerful.
Nice.
I'll have to dig out some links for you though.
Yes. Have you seen the link, Matt? It's in the chat.
Private chat. Private.
Hold on. Let me see. Oh yes, nice one. Great. Thanks a lot.
When you hear it, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you hear the music, because it's so famous, the planets.
Yeah. I mean, I had that on a loop as a kid. I used to just listen to it all the time.
It's so atmospheric, though, isn't it? It just completely perfect escapism in a musical form.
Yeah. I mean, don't play Mars, because obviously that is probably one of the most overplayed.
But it is, as I said, when you hear it, you recognize the music because it's something that's timeless. And John Williams took most of the cues from the planets. If you listen to the whole of the planets, it's definitely Star Wars. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome.
And Jerusalem is based on Jupiter, I think, isn't it?
Ooh.
The hymn. Jerusalem.
Who's Matthew Lillard?
Oh, he played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo movies.
Getting to read.
Wow, the planets are so good. I'm thinking of listening to it after this.
Yeah, I've clicked the link as well because I haven't heard it in such a long time.
So good. It's so.
Oh, we'll all be on it now.
Which is the really good one from the suite?
Which was the hit single?
Well,
The
Mars is
first
the
one.
most well known, and
Yeah, Mars.
well,
Yeah, Mars. Mars is the well-known one.
Did-
Yeah.
and Jupiter, because as I said, Jupiter.
There's one which is amazing.
Well, you know the hymn Jerusalem, you know, and those feet in ancient times. That's based on whole Jupiter.
Okay.
But you know what? Sometimes when I was writing some of the Doctor Who script, right, I was listening to Jerry Goldsmith, and I like Jerry Goldsmith, and I like his music to. Well, Gremlins wasn't very good, but I like his music to the Gremlins and stuff like that, and that kind of whimsical kind of tone of music. So it kind of puts you in the mood really when you're writing. So it's a good thing to listen to music if you can. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate with music going on, but
yeah.
you know.
I can't. I find it really difficult to write in the quiet because I don't know why it is, but
Because you got kids, mate.
Yeah, might be.
You used to noise.
It's well, personally, I haven't got kids, but if I had a son, I'd be reading the story.
Okay.
But I am a kid completely. Like, my brain needs to be like noisy almost. You know what I mean, to get things done. But
so I can't sleep without having something on, like a YouTube video or something like this.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well, I've got tinnitus as well. Not bad, but it's there, and that does drive you
I
nuts.
don't know how I've avoided that. I mean, I've been in bands,
Same here.
music, and so many years, and it's like my ear is fine.
No, it's one thing. It's one thing. Like I got tinnitus when I was walking down the road, and the ambulance was close to me, and it zoomed by. And you know how loud that noise is. And then when I got home, I could hear the ringing, and it never stopped. So I have tinnitus. And I went to the doctors about it, and the doctor said, "You have tinnitus." I'm like, "Great."
Should sue them.
How are you gonna sue?
Too late now.
Yeah. Like just one thing, something that happens, a large noise.
Yeah,
that brings it on.
It might have been similar for me as well because I was really young. I was like 2 years old or something when I started realizing it. I'd be like laying in bed at night and this ringing would be there, and I thought it was just normal. You get you get used to it, I guess. But it's not like it's not dilapidating, but it's noticeable, and it does make me a bit annoyed after a while if I pay attention to it. So if my attention's taken, then I'm golden. I can just get on with things. It's fine. And also,
random tones pop up occasionally, like we
have that.
Someone said to me that's whenever you hear a tone pitch in your hearing in the silence, and it sort of gradually fades away. Apparently, that's like one of the inner ear hairs dying.
It's to do with hairs.
Apparently, that pitch is one pitch that you're losing.
Wow.
PD Rich, I got it from chemo.
That's not good.
They
need a better solution to cancer than that awful treatment.
It is very, very medieval, isn't it?
Well, it's like how do we cure this? Let's hit it with a hammer. It's barbaric. I think there's some interesting stuff. I don't how woo all this stuff is, but using ultrasound and things like that as an alternative.
Targeted therapy,
sound.
There's like a
because apparently certain cancers operate on a certain frequency, so they find the operating frequency of that cell, and they use that frequency to destroy it. Yeah. And I think that's fascinating. I really hope that something comes of that.
I have to listen to music when I go to bed, so I have the radio on all the way through the night.
I'll tell you one of the best chill out albums I've ever bought in my entire life, and it never fails. And it's apart from Dead Can Dance, which is a fantastic band. Everyone should have at least one or two Dead Can Dance albums. But there's an album by Delirium. Who did Silence. It's called Karma. My God, that album is incredible.
Send the links. Beautiful. Send the links, please.
That album will help you. 100%.
PD Rich, chemotherapy saved my life, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that it's so barbaric and ghastly, but yeah, of course, it does work for an awful lot of people. It's just such a shame that that you had to go through that, mate. And I just hope in the future that there is an alternative that isn't so sickly. Really
no one wants anyone to go through that, do they? Even
and to think children have to go through that. That's just
shocking.
Steve Martin got tinnitus when he was making the Three Amigos, when the explosion was close to him, and he ended up having tinnitus, and he says it's something he has to live with for the rest of his life now.
Shatner's got it as well. Shatner's got it. One of the
Shatner's bassoon. That's what it was.
Yeah, Shatner, when he was
Anyone who knows
sets,
Chris Morris will know that reference.
One of the effects went off, and he got in the original Star Trek, he's got tinnitus.
Yeah, could just be triggered at any time.
Maybe he's shouting "Khan" too loudly.
I will say as well.
Probably.
I will say just like I said about the Disney trilogy. There's one good thing that came from it, is that Ray's theme. And if no one's heard of it or they can't remember it,
I'll check that out. Yeah,
do look it up, because it's an utterly beautiful piece of music. It really is.
In fact, I'll put it in the chat. So that's Ray's theme.
John Williams' Ray's theme. Yeah, it's just stunning. Really is stunning.
Just
a shame the movies couldn't have been as good.
Thing is, I didn't remember any of the music from the first one, the first Disney trilogy. I was so disappointed with it.
I know. Yeah, I mean, well, the reason why we know the John Williams scores so almost off by heart is because we've seen the film so many times, all of us, and they're just indelible. They've just been burnt into our minds. And with the Disney trilogy, we have no inclination to go back and hear them. So those new pieces of music he made, it's going to be lucky if we ever really get to appreciate any of them at all. Really.
No, but also it has a lot to do with the way they make films these days. Like if you look closely, if you look at the 70s films and the 80s films, there's always bits in movies that require music.
One thing I've noticed a lot with modern film and TV is that, I don't know what's happened, but it seems to me that they don't hire sound operators properly anymore. They're like, sometimes you watch a film or TV show and like you can barely hear what people are saying, or the music's really too loud or too quiet. It's like they really just seem to have sacrificed sound in cinema and on TV. It's noticeable. I don't know if anyone else has noticed. But,
when they used to make films, they used to have special sequences with music, just music. So if you look at Empire Strikes Back, there's that bit where all the Star Destroyers are conversion, and that's when the Imperial March plays, and it's like less than a minute, but that shot especially for that music. Same thing, Close Encounters. Same thing with Star Wars. There are bits in there that just has music. Bit where Luke Skywalker comes out of his house and he looks up at the two stars. It's nothing, just music. Yeah. As I'm saying, today's films don't have that anymore because they have to move at speed because they think people won't have enough attention span. So they move at speed. They move too fast.
Yeah, but by doing that, they're actually making the problem worse because if they can't train their audience to sit down and pay attention, then you're failing. And if you're pandering to this kind of ADHD sort of mentality, then you're actually perpetuating the problem. And it's sad.
You just reminded me of something I heard a few years ago. Actually, it must have been a producer or a writer or something like that. I was working on TV, and he was making a show, or was writing a show. Couldn't tell you what it was, but what sticks in my head is the fact that he actually said these words, and it was, the people that are watching shows these days, they're all sort of watching them while they're using their phones. So basically, we write everything now as to be watched partially by the audience. So we know their attention is always taken.
That's awful. That's awful. That is a terrible, terrible mentality. That's defeated. That sounds.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Yeah, but it's so defeatist.
People reach their phones to look up IMDb and stuff, don't they? Look at actors and things like that, and they just assume now that everyone's just literally welded to their device.
Yeah,
but it's true. They are. That's the sad fact about it.
But only because it's been perpetuated, hasn't it?
Of course, but it's too late now. And whoever said that, he's absolutely right. They have to start thinking of the audience that we have today rather than yesterday.
Yeah,
it's sad, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
Well, it's like you with Rebecca Gold, isn't it? With the installments rather than as one overall thing. Yeah, that's right. Even though I did watch the half an hour version because I thought, no, I'm going to watch. If I'm going to watch this, I'm going to watch all of it, all in one.
Right. As I said, it's music is like the guy composed music for Rebecca Gold. I made sure that he gave us a theme and made sure he gave us themes for different people and stuff like that. And he did very well.
Yeah.
So I'm old school when it comes to filmmaking, but a lot of people today they don't understand what they're doing, but they can shoot stuff because technology, they can do it because of technology.
Is there any
Democratization, isn't it? It's not necessarily a good thing, to be honest.
Is there any news update on series 2? I know you was trying to secure some funding.
No. Well, the money's there. I just got to see who's available. I'm planning to shoot in August,
right,
or September. So I just got to see if it's really hard because because I'm not part of the industry. I've got to figure out when these people are free. You know what I mean? So the 4 main characters have to be free within the space I'm going to shoot it. That's Katie, Alison, Paul, Keith. Well, I know Keith's going to be available. Doesn't matter when I shoot, he'll be available. And there's a new character in there as well. So I've got to make sure that.
Is it a man in his 40s, slightly silver?
No. It's a balancing act, isn't it? It's a balancing act. That's the problem when you're shooting stuff like this. There's always problems. So I've got to make sure that they're all available at the time I want them. So I'm going to send out an email soon to them and tell them my plan, and then I'll see what I get back. So but the script's done. I'm happy with it. I just need a read through with them to see how the dialogue plays with them, and then and that'll be that really.
I did like Keith's performance in that. I got to admit, a real sort of
slime ball.
he's a bit slimy, isn't he? And a bit sort of he plays that really well, even though his voice doesn't necessarily say that, but his behavior and his the tone of his voice. I mean, but the way he acted it and the expression on his face and his eye movements, things like just spot on, absolutely spot on. Good casting, man. Good casting.
What's the planned? What do you think? What's the planned duration going to be for the series?
Well, the script's 93 pages.
Oh,
so
93 minutes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to shoot it, and so I have a choice to either have it as a feature, a length thing, and I can split it up into 13 parts. So that gives me the choice.
Do the 30-minute episode model.
It's 93 minutes episode model.
So 31-minute model episode. Like Barry, that's 30 minutes.
Yeah, I could do that.
Kai, spot on 30 minutes.
I could do that, but unfortunately, because I'm not an established and I don't have any big stars, and I don't think anyone is going to have the patience to watch a 30-minute thing. I think 5 minutes they'll watch. They'll watch 5 minutes, but they will not watch a 30-minute thing. I don't think I've got enough fans on Rebecca Gold to trust that.
Well, I don't know, because I ended up watching it, one after the other, So
yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
That's because you know me, and you probably did it because you know me. But
no, because I wanted to see, what happened next. That. Like anything else, I took it. I know it's your thing, but at that point, I didn't know you as well as say I know you now, kind of thing.
All right,
but I was
it's too much of a faff, Ian. At 5 minutes, too much of a faff.
Well, I don't know. I'll decide. But at least if I shoot all of it, then I have a choice. At least I can split it into 30. I can split it into 5 minutes or a 93-minute film.
Did an old school half-hour shows for commercial TV used to be about 22 minutes.
24 minutes.
Without that.
24.
I mean,
Top 2 used to be 24 minutes.
I can do it that way, but the thing is, though, it's got to end in some kind of cliffhanger, which means rearranging the script. The way it's written now, every 5 minutes there's something happening. So, and if I stick it all together as a feature film, that's great because you'll always be hopefully
on your tail.
linked to it.
Yeah.
So, but it's early days at the moment. It's early days. So I just need to see if those actors are available when I want them. And then try and find someone who could produce with me as well that can help me as well, because it's obvious I can't do it.
What does a producer do?
Well, he does a lot of phone calls.
Right.
He arranges things. He has people that help him to arrange things. Book studios. Does all kinds of things basically.
Do you have a producer you go to all the time, or is it just?
No, not really. Rebecca Gold, I produced myself, but that was okay because we took a whole year shooting that, so you know we were shooting weekends and stuff. So but you know, there's a couple of producers I can talk to, see if they'll do it, you know, and then I'll as I said, it's early days. I can't be asked to think about it yet. Only when the green light's there, and I'll definitely get it arranged. But you will not be disappointed in this one. You will not be. I'm telling you, this one's probably better than season 1. So much better than season 1 because I know the characters now. So
yeah.
So it's and there's loads of surprise, loads of twists, and you know.
I think the first one was kind of establishing everything, establishing relationships and stuff. And I thought that the dialogue between Rebecca and Jackie was just great. When they're sat in the car, it was so good. And then later on, you realize that she's obviously communicating with someone in her earpiece, right? You know, towards the end. But the whole time when you're thinking she's psychic, what's going on? Can she like sense people? You know, you don't quite know what's happening. But the whole time, and the whole thing about the biscuits and stuff, I just gold, loved it.
It's all very English
literally
stuff.
Gold.
Even when she has the biscuits wrapped in the cling film. Yeah. That's what my mum used to give me when I used to go to school. You remember that when he used to wrap stuff in cling film? But that was the thing, you see, because Rebecca, she's still a child, you know, so you know that she gets her mind wiped after every mission, so that if she's caught, that they can't take anything away from her. But the problem with her is that she started very young, so every time she gets her mind wiped, she's always starts from the point where she starts from. So say, for instance, she got recruited as 17, and every time she did a job, they wiped her mind. She'll always be 17. She'll always have and that's her problem. She really, that's it. That's what she is. She's eternally 17 inside. She needs to grow up. So they need to stop taking the memories off her and let her mind grow, if you know what I mean.
So that's the whole other really interesting element there, isn't it? What would happen, you know, if she's left to without this mind wipe as well? What would she become and turn into? That'd be really interesting.
Well, those are the questions that are slightly answered in season 2, and that's her character's far more complicated than you think. You know, so there's a huge history behind how she became who she became. We explore that. We explore the relationship between Rebecca and Jackie. And we explore the company and what their part in the world is, basically. So
because it's all very vague, isn't it? You don't know all those details, so that'd be really fascinating to find out. I just got to ask as well: is there a Doctor Who reference in there with Jackie's jersey?
There's loads of reference. Every episode has things in there. Like for instance, the last episode, if you look at Rebecca's car, it says Jedi bitch. That's her number plate. It literally says bitch on there, And I always put a line from a James Bond film in my stuff. So if you look at Bad Day, there's a line from a James Bond film. If you look at Rebecca Gold, and if you look at Killing Zone, there's a line and everything. So in Rebecca Gold, I think it's the Mr. Kill line. That's from one of the Pierce Brosnan movies. I can't remember which one, but so there's the reference to James Bond in the first one, and her costume is made up of iconic characters.
Sure.
So you got the red hoodies from E.T. The leather jackets from Terminator 2. The trainers is from Tennant's Doctor Who.
I always think that every single time, whenever I see anyone wearing Converse, because that was always that option was given to Tennant, wasn't it? For his
he wanted, because they were going to give him boots, but he was the one who said he wanted Converse.
Yeah, that's right. I'll always remember that. And when I saw Rebecca Gold, I was just thinking, I wonder. It was like scratching my
her costume was meant to be. I was trying to create something that was iconic to her. So I just thought, let's just make it up with things that I really like. So one of my favorite films is E.T. So she's wearing a red hoodie. She's wearing the jacket from Terminator 2, which I loved. You know, everybody wears jeans, and the gloves are from Laura Croft.
Nice.
You know, so that's what her costume is made up. And I mean, there's loads of stuff in there. I mean, we put a lot of stuff in the backgrounds, and you know, and it's just there's loads of stuff that's mentioned, like Genie's into The Walking Dead, and you know, all those stupid lines in there.
No RoboCop gun though.
No RoboCop. I should have included that, but But Mr. Kill is a character in one of the James Bond films. I can't remember, but yeah, that's my James Bond reference in that episode. I think it's episode 1.
I don't know if you're aware of them, but I'm a massive fan of the video game series Devil May Cry, and it's just an awesome sort of action third-person based sort of game. And there's a couple of characters called Dante and Nero in the series, and their outfits are always amazing, sort of like goth, bit sort of goth, bit punk, bit metal kind of look to them, and they're always a combination of black, red, and blue. Yeah, and I was looking at Rebecca's outfit in it, and I was thinking, man, she looks like it kind of looks so much like an ensemble that Dante would wear, with the hoodie and the black and the leather jacket and stuff. And I was thinking, I wonder if he does know about Devil May Cry as well.
I don't.
Well, look it up anyway and have a look.
I
for
will.
yourself.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. As I said, like we had very little time to shoot it as well. I mean, there's no way she should hold that gun with one hand. Absolutely no way. She should have 2 hands on that gun. As anybody who's actually shot a gun knows that you can't really shoot that way. But as I said, there's something special about her, and you get to learn more about that in season 2. You get to learn more about her character and who she is and why she's that way, because she doesn't really have that much fear, to tell you the truth. So and we get to know why as well. So
right, yeah.
So it's a good script. Whether I get the chance to shoot it or not is another matter.
I hope you do. I hope you do.
So do I.
There was there's something else I've really loved as well, and it's like split second, like you can spot it. But when you're laying all the guns out on the table in that room, I was thinking, whoa, they look good. Where are they from? Bloody hell, I want some of those. They're like just. I thought you didn't make them, surely, but they look great.
They're Nerf guns.
I'll tell you what. PD Rich in the chat there, he makes really amazing resin replica armory from the Alien movies and stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like really screen accurate. So I don't know if you want prop guns. I think
could you use a RoboCop gun?
There's a good man in the chat there. He's really good at doing that kind of
thing. I will. If you send me his details, I will contact him. It's good to have contacts like that, because you never know what you're doing. You never know when they come in handy. So I will never. Thing is though, because nobody gets paid, I will always pay for their materials. If they're going to make, the other prop guy that made stuff for me, I pay for the material. And and their travel as well. It's always covered. Food is always covered. The material that they use to make the prop they make for me, and expenses are always covered. And also you get to have loads of fun. That's free. So so there you go. But nobody ever gets upset on my shoots. No one.
It didn't look like from what I saw, it looked like you're all having a really good time.
We did. This is one of those easy shoots that I got a feeling season 2 is going to be a hard shoot because there's a lot involved. But with this one, it was very, very easy to do. Nobody had a problem. I didn't have any problem apart from one person, I guess. But
could we come down and stream?
If you want, I mean, Lord knows when. I mean,
this is how sad I am. I looked into COVID awareness courses. Apparently, they're free.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah.
So
I mean, you're all welcome to come down on set. There's it's fine. We're not Hollywood. We're Cricklewood. You can always come down anytime you want.
That could be the name of the stream. We're not Hollywood. We're Cricklewood.
Yeah, outside your offices, Ian. That should be like Diaz Productions or whatever, and underneath it says we're not Hollywood. We're Cricklewood.
Oh my god! I've just made the mistake of going on Twitter, and Sklavko's sent a deep fake. I imagine that's his fizzog on some. Titty-laden person.
Oh dear.
A resident Russian. So fucking funny.
Oh dear.
I don't know. Is that you, Sklavko? That's hilarious.
But you guys are welcome to come down anytime you want to come down. Come down. In fact, we'll stick a costume on you. You can get shot if you want. That's always fun. That's always fun.
I've done enough film extra work and been shot plenty of times.
You don't have to leave. It'll be a pleasure. It'll be a pleasure to meet all of you guys. Because all I know is you through this. This
crazy online world.
So it'll be a pleasure to actually meet you in person
and have a beer, an actual beer.
Exactly. Might be too tired to have a beer, but I'll try. But
no such thing as being.
you can have a fight with Rebecca if you want. You want to get
Oh,
smashed on
yeah.
the table or something, or or
Awesome.
get thrown across the room.
Oh, I'm down
Always
for
fun.
that. Although my back probably wouldn't agree with that.
Well, we can stick some squibs on you. You can get shot. That'd be hilarious.
Oh,
please.
I've
Please.
never had a
Please.
squib fitting, so that'd be fun.
Please.
Well, as I say,
Please.
the invitation is there. If you guys want to, I mean, I don't know where you guys live, but if you want to come down, yeah, you're welcome. Come down and
I'm just outside Leeds.
drink all the tea and eat all the biscuits and stuff, and and eat some of the food. It's fine with me. That's how we roll in
Cricklewood.
That reward ceremony you said you went on in with, where they said they just laid all the food out and you just went and helped yourself. I was just drooling hearing you like talking about that.
They what you call it? They put something up, didn't they? When I received the award for Katie, it's on my Facebook page actually. When I accept the award for her, yeah. I mean, the New Jersey Web Festival is amazing, absolutely amazing. And I thought they'd been doing it for years, but that was their second festival.
Wow!
And it was really good. It was like a real award ceremony with you on tables and you had free food, and it was really good, really good. So I recommend if anybody's making a web series, apply for the New Jersey Film Festival. Go to that because it's really the people are really good. Cool. So anyway, whatever.
Shout out to New Jersey Film Festival people.
Yeah, you should go, guys. It's the people that run it are really, really nice. They look after you.
Well,
definitely not Hollywood
plane ticket.
Well, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so what are we talking about?
PD Rich says, "Hey, I've smashed through I can't speak. Breeze block at an Artem demonstration before."
Was it a fake breeze block there? That's the thing. Or was it a real one? If it was a real one, you probably end up in hospital.
It wasn't a relative of that new Star Wars character, was it? Oh dear.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, as I said, the actual my shoot is actually for people who want the experience and have never been on a film set before, and because I always invite people like that because you get a certain loyalty from people like that. You know what I mean? If you invite people that have already been on a film set and they're doing it and they want to be there because they want money, whatever. And I've already told people I can't really afford it, so we always get people that are really passionate about trying to learn. So right. it goes both ways, doesn't it? They get to learn.
Yeah, I don't get out of bed for less than 300, darling.
Well, here you go. PD Rich sounds like he's the type of guy you want involved. Artem are a special effects company.
Yeah, I know Artem.
Yeah.
But do you work for them, PD Rich? That's what I want to know. But I would never be able to make anything today if it wasn't for technology. Because the technology now makes it really easy for you to shoot. When I made Killing Zone, I shot on Super 16 and I had over 200 people working on that film. That was because it was shot on film and it was old school and the lights were huge. And do you know what I mean? When you look at the Killing Zone, that's all shot on film and recorded with a one of those, I can't remember, what's it called, a Steinbeck or whatever it is. No, not Steinbeck. What am I talking about? The thing that they record sound on. Sound was recorded separately, and the film was on film. You know what I mean? So that was old school stuff. I learned that way. But anyone can make a film now. Even shoot it on their phones. You can make a film. So there's really no excuse. But the same rules apply. The story's got to be good. It's got to be well written, and that's where everybody falls down because it's so easy to make films these days. So there you go. Story is king. Yep, story is king. Performance is king. Got to have a good director. Got to have a good producer. Here you go, E, in the chat. That's it. 8 of them. All right. Okay. They built Peter Davison's TARDIS console. Wow.
Rebuilt. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I think I've seen that on YouTube, the remade version of the... Is that the one that went into the exhibition, Rich?
Probably. Is I've been watching a few videos this week on YouTube. Did Artem do the effects for Moon?
I don't know, but I
Because that
know
was
of
really
Artem.
good.
I know of
Yeah.
Artem. They've been around for years. I think
Yeah.
it's the right company. I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one he says. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
there is loads of Artem clips on.
That was made out of glass fiber originally, I think. Yeah.
locations are hard to find when you make films. Locations, it's always hard to find a warehouse location in London.
Yeah, because they've all been converted now.
Yeah. And you know, the problem is that if you find one, it's always outside of London, which means you have to put the cast up, which means more money, which means you have to hire people to drive, and you know what I mean. So it's trying to find something that's in London so people can go home after the shoot and come back the next day. That saves money. You know, locations are a real bitch to find in London, always.
Increasingly worse, I should imagine.
Yeah, it is.
Right, guys, that's 2 hours 30.
Wow.
That was a long one. That was. Everybody in the chat, thank you as always. A few have stuck with us to the bitter end. So, cheers, guys.
I think it was Matt reading his book that made him go away, I reckon.
Ow.
Not really.
I'll just say thank you to Problem being a man who's in demand at the moment. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure as always, mate.
Just ignore us too, Matt and me.
It's always great to have you on, Lee. So appreciate that, mate. Mega Geek, wonderful as always.
Cheers, mate.
And Matthew, brilliant tonight, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure with you guys.
You're doing good.
Great book, mate. Great book. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah,
I'd buy it.
Can't wait to give it to you.
I'll buy it.
I'll just say to everybody who's watching this or who's in the chat, we'll probably be popping up at some point tomorrow. I think we might be doing a nooner deep dive on politics. Lee, I don't know if you want to be involved with that one. Commander Culture is going to be on.
When is that?
I think that's going to be noon tomorrow, provisionally. That's with Commander. So obviously that's the deep dive stuff.
You know, I'm still recovering.
Yeah, I'll sort of link out. If you turn up, you turn up. If you don't, that's fine. That's it, guys. I'll just play the outro and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.